And James Justin has scored one of the goals of the season. Right at the last, and it was De Cordova's. Left side of the penalty area, Daka!
Well, good evening and welcome along to our watch-along for Leicester City's trip to Manchester City in the Premier League. I'm Dan Bates. I've got Walshy. There's no other point in
great to see you, Batesy.
Steve Walsh is there. You are just Walshy.
It's good to be back. I'm hoping I'm going to bring us a bit of luck tonight. I've been missing for a while.
Alongside you and Roberts, you've obviously played together, the pair of you. You've done plenty of this media stuff together, haven't you? But yeah, what do you reckon, Walshy? Let's just go like a Brazilian name, I think.
I call him Chief.
Chief.
I've always called him Chief.
Oh, God.
No.
Well, look,
he was
we
our
had some
chief,
great days together.
He was our chief.
They could do with us at this moment in time, the spirit and how we used to play. But right, look, we are where we are. Everyone knows the position we're in now. Been a difficult season to watch, it really has, and it hurts a bit now. It's getting to a stage where I'm just thinking, where is the next goal come from? Where's the next win, and so on. But look, I'm here tonight, and I'm hoping that something can happen. And
you never know, do you?
You never know, of course. But it's one of those things. We've got to get through the season now. It's not long way to go, and just do the best that we can. That's all we can do, and you can't ask any more then, because obviously from what I've seen from start to finish, defensively we're conceding too many goals, and that is the catalyst for everything for me. That's the base. Basically, the spine of the team is not strong enough, and the quality's not been there. I think
the gap between the Championship and the Premier League, it's getting bigger and bigger with each season. Last season the three promoted teams got relegated. Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield. The three teams that got promoted last season from the Championship, they're in the bottom three at the minute. It's been a tough season for all three. And it's one of those, if you can just somehow manage to survive that first season back in the Premier League and build on that, then I think you've got a great chance of doing what Brighton have done, doing what Bournemouth have done, Nottingham Forest now. But it's just getting through that
season, though, Ewan, for me. Looking at it, as a whole, other teams, the likes of Tottenham and Man United, they've had the struggles, and things are not right. They're in transition, really, aren't they? And I guess we're in a deeper transition than anyone now. But at the end of the day, we started the season. There was it was the odd goal that we were losing by. It wasn't like things were going that badly. And and then obviously as the season's gone on, we've started. Things have been worse, and we've conceded more goals than we should have. I think it's 2.24 goals. I was looking at stat, and if it's correct, that means that you need to be scoring 3 goals to win a game of football. And fortunately,
would be nice.
Yeah, and you look at since the likes of Schmeichel and Wes and Robert Huth, them players were massive for us, weren't they? And the backbone of the team was so strong, and we built round it, and it's just not strong enough at this moment, and it's a kind of the rebuild that we'll have to do. Don't know how it's going to work out, but still, like I say, it's been a hard watch at times, and I understand the fans are getting a bit frustrated, but we've got as an ex-player, it hurts me as well, and I want the club to do well, and like you say, it's been a big step up, and watching them games in the Championship, it was a poor standard at times. It really was, and the gap now is used for teams, to adapt as soon as they go up. The three that go up, three seem to come back down, and this is going to happen again and again. But like you say, if you can just survive that 1 year, then you can build on that, and that's what the likes of Bournemouth, Fulham, all these teams have done. They've slowly built, and the seasons have got better and better, and now they can beat anyone in that league, and so it is frustrating, but let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens indeed. Thank you to everyone who is joining us on YouTube. Please do get your comments in to get involved with the show. Richard, Nick, Andy, they're all watching along. Alex says Foxes never quit. Absolutely, Alex, we hear that, and they might need to use some of that spirit, of course, tonight away at Manchester City, the Premier League champions, of course, from last season. Let's get a quick look, though, at tonight's team news, starting, of course, with the Foxes. It feels like it's been a while since Leicester last played, of course. About 2.5 weeks ago, wasn't it, here against City's City rivals, Manchester United. It is, as you were really, from a Leicester point of view. Mads Hermansen in goal, Luke Thomas, Cody and Fass. The back three, Christensen and Justin as the wing backs, and then Ndidi and Samare at the holding midfielders with El Kanous and Daka and Jamie Vardy there. So I think that'll be quite fluid, won't it? Really, in terms of what we see.
I mean, last time I was on, Dan, I think it was Brentford, and obviously it was another defeat. And I said then, I'd like to see the manager sort of try something different, and he has. He's gone to a back three with wing backs, and I welcome that. At least he's trying to solve the problems that the team are having. People think, it's a little bit negative. But it's not really, because it enables you. I'm not too sure where Patson Daka, whether he'll start.
Probably alongside Vardy and El Kanous in behind.
And that's what it does. It enables you to have two centre forwards. So I do welcome the change. And if you look at, I put the Man U game to one side. I'm looking at the last away performance at Chelsea.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good spiriting, is that if even
spirited,
spirited performance. You go back to
they look resolute and a lot hard.
Absolutely, and that's what they've got to be. They've got to be really hard to score against. They've got to keep nice. I mean, Walsh will tell you better than me about the defensive side of the game. But I did welcome the change, the back three, and hopefully, because Man City won the Premier League 4 years on the spin, but they're not the Man City that they've been over previous years. They've had their problems this season as well.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that 3-4-3 system, I get it, Ewan, but Man City they like to get the ball wide, don't they? And quickly, and them spaces behind in them flanks are going to be crucial. But like I say, that's 3-4-3 is in possession, isn't it?
It's a five at the back when you lose possession.
We go 5-4-1 more or less, won't we? Really. So I do like the change. I think we've got to try these things, and like I say, it's been a difficult for Ruud to get anything going properly. But now he's had a go, and it half worked, and yet it's the silly mistakes that have cost us rather than. Just genuine ones. So there've been, errors that shouldn't happen, and the basic fundamental errors that I've seen throughout the season that shouldn't have been there really. From international defenders, that you've got to understand and have a positional sense, and that's where I think that things have gone wrong for us. Through there's been games when we've been well in the game. Like I went to Villa, I watched it away. I was in the away end, right, and. You couldn't tell that Villa were a better team than us for 75 minutes, when we conceded that goal, but you just knew there was a mistake in us. And I think that is not a comfortable situation to be in. You just know that we're going to try and play out and something's going to happen. And it did, unfortunately. But if we would have played the same way, I think we would have been fine. We might have got a draw from that, and So that's been hard to watch.
We've had good periods in the season.
There have been.
First game of the season, Spurs here, I thought second half outstanding.
Yeah.
And one of the best 45 minutes I've seen from a Leicester side this season.
Yeah, that's right.
Came against Man City.
Man City, absolutely.
In the second half. Absolutely dominated them.
Unbelievable.
Got in their faces, we played on the front foot, never paid them too much respect in the second half.
Yeah.
And looking back, we should have got something out of the game. No. So that's what they've got to think of.
We're technically gifted players we've got. But it's like I say, it's them errors that crucially have cost us, and you can't at that level. you can't make them errors, you know, consistently. So that's been disappointing.
Yeah, Raya's joined along on YouTube alongside a number of others. Thank you again. You guys make sure you hit that subscribe and the like button. But Rai, he's talking about the points gap, obviously, to Wolves is quite big now, isn't it? It is a bit of a mountain to climb. He's just sort of he wants to see some goals tonight. That's one thing that has been lacking from the game. You, and obviously as a former forward yourself, you're probably watching and you were involved in teams maybe that went through periods of just maybe is it confidence in front of goal? What is it that's causing it, do you think?
I think it is. I don't think it's a confidence situation with Jamie Vardy, because I think whatever type of run that he's going through, whether he's in a bit of a drought when he hasn't scored for 3 or 4, I think every time he steps on that pitch, he's confident if he's given the service that he will get on the score sheet. You know, I think he's had success against Manchester City. And as a centre forward, Dan, I mean, Walsh played there a few times in his career as well, very successfully, if I remember. You've got to keep making the runs that you make. You can't go hiding. You can't stop going into certain areas in the box just in case that ball might land to you and you might miss the opportunity. If you're in there, you miss, so be it. You get yourself ready for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll come to you in just a moment, Walsh. I'll tell you what, we're going to check in with our team up at the Etihad on co-commentary duty for us. There's live commentary still available for you on the website. Matt Elliott has made the trip north. You don't see that very often, do you? He's up in Manchester. He's alongside John Dunn, who's a staple of these Northwest games, and they've been previewing the match pitchside at the Etihad.
Good evening, Dan. We are pitchside here at Etihad Stadium. Everyone looking warm and comfortable back at King Power Stadium. Same can be said here. We're in Manchester. It isn't raining, and this Leicester legend is alongside me after the international break. You're refreshed. We hope the players are refreshed. Did the international break come at the right time for Leicester City?
Depends how you look upon it, doesn't it, John? I think probably, more welcome than not. So it gives the time to reassess, take stock. We've said that before, haven't we, really? But certainly, fair to say Leicester are not in a good run of form in terms of results. So the more time to work on that training pitch, hopefully the better. But the prospect of coming to the, at the moment, current champions is quite daunting nonetheless, isn't it?
Manchester City not in the best of form, but clinched an FA Cup semi-final place. As you say, Leicester's return is against the champions. It won't be straightforward tonight by any means.
No, not at all. I think the demise of Man City has not been to the degree where Leicester can take it easy tonight, can they? I mean, listen, look, we look at the teams. We know the array of talent that's within the squad. We know their capabilities when they do hit form. But there is a lack of sort of rhythm and confidence, and a lot of people don't know what. I'm not sure that even Guardiola knows quite what the problem is. But they're still a formidable outfit, aren't they? And particularly here at their home stadium. Here
at the home stadium, there is construction work going on at the other end of the ground. Seems like there'll be a bit of construction work in the summer. It may have started in January. New faces coming in. Have you seen an impact that they've made?
Very good, John. You've had a long time to work on that
All
one,
of
haven't
the international break, Matthew.
Slick enough, slick enough for you. But in reference to Manchester City, it's difficult, isn't it? Like a rebuilding period for them, but I don't think they've done it by design. It's just sort of fell upon them, haven't they? And it's almost a bit of a spin, isn't it, to say, to cover for their dramatic fall down in performances and results, really, because it's caught everyone off guard, and Guardiola as well, I believe, and the players, and they seem a little bit startled by it. But their collective talent carries them through, doesn't it? And you don't. Well, they have dropped off a bit of a cliff, haven't they? A bit, but they're climbing their way back up. You feel that at times, certainly, and for Leicester at the moment, it's difficult to say, difficult to admit, but whoever they come up against is a tough proposition. But they've got to steel themselves, haven't they? And show that resolve, show that belief. But now we're talking, you're nearly at that great escape point. We're looking at that degree of comebacks, aren't we? And at the moment, I don't see that on the horizon, but fingers crossed.
In terms of Leicester, unchanged team, the back five remains. Someone who played in a back five on a regular basis. What is the key? What does that bring? What will Ruud hope will change fortunes tonight by playing that system?
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost it was to bring a bit of solidity to defensive line, wasn't it? You know, pretty straightforward. And to a degree, it's done that. I think it's decreased the amount of chances and opportunities the opposition have had, but the same amount of goals have still been leaked. And but I think, like I said, it's minimising the opportunities, and from that you can give yourself some sort of platform. Now, the next stage is being more creative and having a cutting edge up top. Combining the two, not easy, but I think it's the right way forward.
It's a back five that doesn't come up against Erling Haaland. He's ruled out. That's a bonus, surely?
Always a bonus, yeah. You're looking for every pro that you can, every positive, and that's certainly a huge one. Mamouche coming in, he's not a bad little player, is he? But at least you haven't got to put up with a combined force of those two. But listen, Leicester City, they've got to consider themselves and remind themselves that they're capable of being, producing good Premier League performances. Haven't seen too many this season. One of their best was actually, ironically, against Manchester City at home. Even then, goals were leaked. But that's the key, isn't it? Staying resolute, and perhaps they're not going to go and dominate the game. Perhaps pinching a result, and who knows?
We do need to check one thing. Did you and Tags have an arm wrestle to decide who was coming tonight? Because the food at the Etihad Stadium in the press room is pretty exceptional.
Yeah. I would never arm wrestle Jerry. He'd probably snap my elbow. I might toss a coin, but no, there are external reasons why I came up today rather than Jerry, who normally does the Northern Games. But Jerry was keen to oblige. Keep warm in the studio. I think he was looking after. Get to sample the old buffet as well, which I'm looking forward to, as you know.
There is a doggy bag on the way to Mr. Taggart back at King Power Stadium. Back to you, Dan.
Thank you there to John and to Matt. As I said, they're on commentary duty for us at the Etihad. This evening they've been talking, about everything we were hearing there, Ewan, from team news to the fact that Matt's not sampled the food yet up at the Etihad Stadium, which I'm sure he'll be very disappointed by.
He better not have too many by the look of that zip on that jacket.
He's up in my
I hope he can't hear me, by the way.
Obviously, I made my debut against Man City as a young kid, which was fantastic. For Wigan Athletic. That was my first ever game, and I played in the Milk Cup against Man City, so it's a League Cup. I think we lost 2-0, 2-1 or 2-0. Paul Power scored, at Main Road, so I was given my chance to become a professional footballer and played. Larry Lloyd took me on the pitch. I had no idea I was playing, and he just threw me into this game.
How old were you?
I was 17. Yeah, and me, David Lowe, and someone else. He threw 3 kids in. We were having a bit of a barren spell, and that was the start of my career. And then I played in the league. It's incredible, really, when you think. So Matt is up north in Lancashire.
Yeah,
meat, potato pies, can't beat them. yeah.
Red rolls, some sort
red
of food,
rolls. He's got to. Yeah, but he can eat. Matt can eat.
I mean, they're not at their strongest. They played a stronger side at the weekend in the cup. I mean, they have had a.
We can look at the Man City team while you're talking.
They have had a topsy-turvy season. I mean, I was looking earlier. They've lost 9 games this season in the Premier League, Dan. They've lost 9 of their previous 98. So there's been a massive dip in form for one reason or another. You look, they've lost 3 at home in their last 9. Mm-hmm. They've lost 3 in their previous 58 Premier League home games. So they're not the invincible Man City that we've seen over the last 3, 4, 5 seasons.
And when you look at the team, then what do you think
teams
from Man City? We'll just talk about the team quickly, and from a Man City point of view, Ewan. There are names in that, like you said, that you could argue they were stronger against Bournemouth.
I mean, the thing, and I know he's sort of getting to an age now, Kevin De Bruyne. Is he going to move on in the summer? Is he going to go over to the Middle East and earn, a good chunk of money from playing in the league in Saudi Arabia? He hasn't hit the heights that he has over the last 2 seasons. He's had injury problems. I get that. But if you see a Man City side and it's not including Erling Haaland, you've got to be relieved. And it did make me laugh. I think it was yesterday when the question was asked to Ruud about he's having a bad season. He's not hitting the numbers that he has done in his previous 2. And Ruud van Nistelrooy went, how many goals has he got? and the person who asked the question, he's got 30 goals in 40 appearances. That's not bad, is it? Do you know what I mean? So, but it is. I mean, it must lift you in that away dressing room at the Etihad when you see some of the bigger names that are missing from that starting 11.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of things happened in Man City's season, hasn't there? You know, the Rodri thing was a big blow to them at the start of the season. You know, you look at a couple of players now where you've got to look at football in a different way these days. In the next 5 years, you've got to look at how the structure of your club, who's going to be coming to the end of the time, you know, and obviously Gundogan was in that stage of getting elder. He's still a great player, don't get me wrong, but you've got to, you know, offset that and get the transition right. And this is why they've had to go back again a little bit now. I mean, you see that lineup tonight looks little bit disjointed, you know, and it's there to be got at. And teams have done this season; they've proved that. But have teams found them out a little bit as well, where they'll sit back and then they'll counter them. You know, I think that's been key, has been being solid at the back, you know, going to a 5 like we look like we're going to do tonight. Can we frustrate Man City and then do them on the break? Because we've still got that, you know, Vardy's still got that. There's no doubt about it. I feel a bit sorry for him this season, to be honest with you. People keep saying he's finished. He isn't. He's not finished. He just you know, he's played a lot of games as well, hasn't he, this season?
And he's got, you know, 7 goals in a struggling side who have sort of struggled to create opportunities.
And that tells you something. And also, you're right, I think the creativity in the team were lacking big time. And, you know, when you look, just them clever passes that used to come in, they're not there. You know, you've got, for me, Ndidi, Samore, similar type of player, you know, and Ndidi plays in this more advanced position. Is he a creative player? Not really. He's you know, but if you put him like in the old days, how we used to play him, I see a different player, you know, and he reads the game well. He stops a lot of threats. So there's been a lot of things with us. But going back to the Man City, I do think that they are in a transition, definitely, and period. And you know, but when you go and sign Mamouche, you know, in the window, and you look at him, he looks different class, doesn't he? So carefully, you know, someone's, you know.
But here's one for you. They've already conceded more goals this season than they had in their previous 4 seasons in 38 games. So there's definitely a weakness in the back.
Yeah. We're just seeing some shots on the other screen of the Leicester fans, a number of Leicester fans that have made the trip up to the Etihad tonight. Fair play, well done on a Wednesday evening there. Really good effort. James Willett, 34 on YouTube, says, please just score a goal. We can echo that. We want to see a goal here in the studio. We'd be able to celebrate. Would be nice, wouldn't it? House of Pog says, I'd love to see a smash and grab dirty win. Teams have done
well,
that.
We would.
But
I've just been I walked through the village today. I had a walk, and my mate's getting ready to go with his son. His son's having his haircut, Ross Greaves, and he's a great fella, good friend of mine. And he's always upbeat before the game, and then after he's like, oh God, he's doing the
thing.
You're always upbeat.
I'm terrible. I'm always, you know,
positive.
No, I'm not positive. I'm not positive.
I
think I'm negative.
Positive when you come
no,
in here.
I am, because, you know, I've come out and I'm enjoying, you know, being here, and it's a release for me to you know, and I've not been in for a while, so it's great. But like I say, I've had a walk through the village. I'm pumped up for this, and I listen in my room. I'll never give a negative score. I always have a prediction, and I'll always put that we'll win 2-1, whatever happens anyway. So, but listen, who knows? We get amongst these, and
you never know.
Let's see a blast from the past.
Archie Brooks says, come on, Foxes, and puts a little fox emoji. And speaking of blasts from the past, Kyle Foster has just commented saying, remember those 5-2 days? What a game that was at the Etihad. Jamie Vardy.
Riyad Mahrez?
With no, this is
not the
COVID season.
Okay.
Vardy scored a hat-trick. Madison scored
against who?
Man City.
Man City, that's right. Oh, of course,
and Tielemans, I think, scored a penalty.
Was it the Premier League winning season, went up there and scored 4?
3-1.
Was it 3-1?
Yeah,
was it?
3-0.
Oh, that was some game.
I
was there in hospitality for that game.
Yeah, nice.
And that was the key game that I thought we're going to win it now.
Yeah, a lot of people do put that game.
Without a doubt.
Now we believe, because that was about the February time, maybe.
I think it was. But it was an incredible. I was doing a bit of work for Paul Power as well in one of his rooms. Said I'd do a little bit, and there was a woman from Man City, and she was like, we came in at half time, and she said it's a game of 2 halves. She was really not happy, and I got up because the seats were dead tight where I was sitting, and I was struggling with my knees. And I got up and whispered in her ear, "It is a game of 2 halves," and we went 3-1, 3-0 up. Yeah. And I believe it or not, I had a bet on Huth. I put a stupid bet. It was like on him to score 3 goals on a hat trick.
Did you?
Yeah. He got 2.
He'd not scored 3 in his career.
He scored 2. I know. I don't know what. I don't know. I put a £1 bet on it. It was honestly, mate. It was unreal.
And then you got the 2, and you thought,
yeah,
they were early, weren't
you
they? So.
take a scrappy 1-0 win.
Yeah.
With an own goal tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has to get
and even
a
my
little
mate,
bit
because we went back together. We went back to the Trumpet Pub back in Leicester and Wigston, and the bookies were ringing him that night to offer him, because he'd done that 5,000 to 1.
Oh, right, okay.
And they were offering him like a cash
yeah,
out. Yeah.
Yeah, so there weren't many that were on the 5,000 to 1, but you knew someone that.
Yeah. I know a few people. Yeah. Incredible that. Yeah.
Nice. The players are coming out onto the pitch at the Etihad, and obviously we'll talk as much as we can about the game. If you are watching, commenting on YouTube, do get your questions in for Walshy and for you, and whether it's on tonight's team, on what they think is going to happen in the game, or any questions about their careers. Of course, it's great to have someone like Walshy, really, with the
wealth of knowledge of Leicester.
I don't know about
that he
that.
played for this club,
Say
and
wealth of
everything
knowledge,
that he
but
achieved, and Ewan's top scorer in a Premier League season for the club. So that's
9.
not bad going, is it?
Nearly got to
Derby
double
hat-trick.
figures. Derby
Oh,
hat-trick.
that was one.
I still live off that one, don't you worry.
That was cracking.
But that's, you can say to anyone that, and no one can take it away from you, you are the top scorer for Leicester in a Premier League season. This is a team that's won the Premier League, Ewan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you know what? We going into that Premier League season, we thought it was going to be a struggle, because I don't think Brian had strengthened as much as he would have liked. I mean, he brought Mark Draper in, who was a terrific player. And obviously, he then took him on to Aston Villa. So we knew it was going to be, if you'd offered us 4th from bottom at the start of the season, we'd absolutely snap your hands off. And looking back, Dan, realistically, sort of Christmas time, I think we had a bad Christmas.
Yeah, but I lasted 2 games that season, and
you started up front against Newcastle.
I did, yeah. But then on the Wednesday night, I think Tuesday night at Blackburn, that was me done, finished for the season. And Joachim broke his foot, didn't he? I'm sure. And so both of us were out as well. So that it cost us that, did right at the start of the season. So it impacted us then.
There's parallels with this team. Abdul Fattah were out for the
season. I know when you look at it.
Winks missed a big chunk. Ricardo's missed a huge chunk of the season as well. So Leicester have struggled with injuries as well this season. We've just had a question in. Thank you to Daniel Hook. He says, what will the team be today? Well, Daniel, Leicester are unchanged from the team that played against Man United a couple of weeks ago. As well as that, Walshy, we've had a nice one in for you. Tom good. Foster says, Walshy is a legend.
Oh, is that right? That's very kind. Very nice.
That is a word that gets overused nowadays in football, but this man here, an absolute bona fide Leicester City legend.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's why I love coming in here.
You never get sick of being told that,
No, it's great. Sends shivers now already. Yeah.
You'd run through a brick wall for the football club.
Well, yeah, you know, when you look and what you gave, and the passion and the blood and the sweat and the tears, and you know,
I mean, I bet there was
seen enough of that this year.
But there was games that your knee would have been 25%.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, that's
really?
right. Yeah, God, yeah. Well, that's why.
And you're feeling it now, yeah.
I'm feeling it now, but I can walk.
Voltarols for fun.
Yeah, my stomach's struggling with through that. I know that. I had that many tablets, but they were worth it.
But it's not.
Oh, what, you're even struggling now because of the pain tablets you used to take?
Oh, yeah. Stomach. Yeah,
they do. I think they sort of affect your stomach lining.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
But I mean, they're unbelievable, Dan.
Yeah,
you take one of them before the game.
For 24 hours,
you don't feel a thing.
I feel like a young kid playing. Honestly, it was unreal. Yeah, I needed them at times.
The only time it didn't really help me, I remember I broke my little toe and we played.
Yeah, we played. I won't do anything for it.
We played Spurs away.
No.
And I had to go into the Spurs changing room because that's where the physio's room was.
Yeah.
To have an injection.
Remember Gary Mills? We played when he broke his toe, second toe, and he had for about 10 games. He had an injection with a doc, and it didn't work in the end. But he got through 10 games. But that we did it, and you're not. Listen, it's not something that you safeguarding now. You would do.
No. but that was the 90s, wasn't it? Well,
Yes, it was 90s. Yeah.
They are underway at the Etihad.
Here we go.
Both teams in blue, by the way. Man City, obviously, in their usual sky blue. Leicester in the royal blue. But far from a sellout, by the looks of things, the Etihad, which surprises me somewhat this evening. Milo Capcut says, I want Leicester to win tonight. Thank you, Milo. Coconut says, come on, Foxes as well. So we've got plenty support, as we always do. In our comments, please do keep them coming in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There was a poll that went out as well saying who will get the first goal tonight. Man City got 61% of the votes, Leicester at 39%, which is understandable, but there is belief there from the Leicester fans that they can maybe get the first goal or they can produce something tonight at least.
Of course there is. I mean, there's always, that Leicester have always, on the break, they do look dangerous. But I like it, when even the last few games, they have at times, they've looked dangerous and getting the ball wide. And I like it. I like the when Mavididi comes on, and I know he's not used him that much this season, but at least he's direct, and the Canoes, they'll have a go. And there's a bit more youth in that front line. I looked at it once. I looked at our front line. Ayew and who else was there? Vardy and
Bobby Reid.
God,
Man City have scored already.
Well, we didn't. And Bobby Reid, that added up to 105 years old.
Jack Grealish has scored. So what are we? We're about a minute or so.
Worst possible start.
Just under 2 minutes gone. Jack Grealish with the goal for Man City. You said that they gave the ball away in a poor position.
Yeah, I think it was halfway in our own half. I think it's Wilfred Ndidi who sort of gets caught on the ball. And one thing Man City are good, they move it quickly, they get bodies forward. And there's 3 or 4 light blue shirts in that box. It's a great pass that. And he needs communication. He needs to be told he can't turn it, just bounce it back on. But they've got numbers in forward areas, and he's picked out absolutely superbly, and he finishes it ever so well. He's in a different role. He's Grealish. He's playing more of a number 10 because they've got Doku on that left hand side. It is the worst possible start.
The mistake has come from the pass inside. I think it was a risky one though, Ewan. When you play a blind pass. Indeed, he can't see behind him, and I think he got dispossessed, didn't he? Who was it, Doku, or whoever? But it was a blind pass for me inside. And when you're 1 minute into the game, do you want to be playing a ball inside there really at this stage? Try and just, in our days, you would have played it in probably more in the channels. I understand that.
That's the modern game, Chief.
It is, and but it's costly, isn't it? You've got to find your feet in a game like this. And that is not where.
It's like. I know it's a thing that gets said so many times, Dan. You go away, whenever you go away, it doesn't really matter, really. You've got to sort of see out that first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Whether you can be as slow and as negative in whatever you do.
Yeah.
And as Walsh said, it's not a bad thing at times to turn the opposition's back for. Force them to run towards their own goal, plant the little seed that's what we're going to do. And to get through that 20-minute period, sort of unscathed, don't concede, and then build on that.
Chance again for City. Grealish was in. Doku now has it in the penalty area. Leicester have got numbers back now, but it's not been the greatest of starts.
No, and Grealish is just being left. He's just drifting into spaces and pockets. No one's really picking him up at this moment, and he's looking dangerous from the start. Is Grealish. And seeing that position, more or less number 10 that he's playing, look, he's just drifting off. Faz doesn't know whether to go with him or not.
See, I think he's got to go with him there because he's got 2 centre halves.
Yeah,
that's going to be picking up 1 centre forward. So he has got the licence to I'm going to stick with you wherever you go. But then
loads of empty seats, by the way.
I'll tell you what, it's unbelievable, really. I mean, these are obviously ticket holders, the season ticket holders who are thinking that this is not a big game for them.
There is something on that.
Is there?
There is something. I think it might be a bit of a planned protest. Or there's something. There is something involved there.
Yeah, it does look a little bit.
It's something to do with season ticket prices.
I think so. I think there is something. There is certainly a reason why there are as many empty seats as there are.
It is some stadium. Yeah, it's some stadium when you're in there. You've obviously been there, Ewan, as well. It's a terrific place to be. Even if it is half empty, it's still daunting task.
But you know what? Got to get through this next 15, 20 minutes without
yeah,
conceding
yeah,
again.
that's right. Yeah. If we concede again,
Yeah.
then it's going to be a difficult night. But well, it's one.
Yeah,
It's
you
all
never know. Nick Goldsmith just says, "Good God," in the comments. Jack says, "Can we maybe play the kids in a couple of the games?"
Yeah,
Certainly,
people have
that's an
suggested
option.
that to me.
JB is very angry and upset about what he's seeing, and Poggy says, "Better put something stronger in that drink."
Yeah, I wish I could, but it's
The thing with the kids, I don't think when you're having a bad time like you are, you don't want to demoralise them sort of thing. You want to sort of put them in when things are going well, when you're winning games, give them a little taster, take them out, let them have a look from the stand. I don't think this will be the... I get it, because what we got to lose, I do understand that. I just don't think it's a good time to put them in that sort of situation.
Fair point.
No, not at this time of the season when we could need these kids to be in
the
good
future,
health,
absolutely.
good state of mind for next season. I've had a lot of people ask me this question. Should you throw the kids in now? This standard can destroy you. And that's what we don't want. For the sake of it, because this season does look like obviously we know what's going to happen at the moment, but there's still a glimmer of hope. But at the end of the day, you can't just throw kids in and think they can deal with it.
I mean, there's places to try a bit of skill, and it's not in your final third.
You see Man City,
It's a
the new
9-minute
lad?
boycott, by the way, the Man City fans.
Oh, is it?
They're doing a 9-minute boycott as fans are protesting against the ticketing policies increasingly pricing out match goers. So that's why it's
Who was the new kid that played for Man City and he played his first game and he had a bit of a disaster? Do you remember?
Kusanov.
Yeah, Kusanov, and he was thrown into that game, wasn't he? And he had a nightmare first 10 minutes in that game, and this is the thing that can happen, and he's at that top level, elite football.
Leicester had I didn't think he'd fouled him there. I didn't
To be
think he
fair,
was going to
Daka
give
did
it.
well then. You see Daka's work for them to get back. Can I tell you about a boycott that I witnessed in, what's the Valencia stadium? Is it the
Mestalla.
Yeah, because I was there in 2012 when Swansea were in the Europa League, and 2 minutes into the second half, all the Valencia fans left the stadium. But we had I didn't have a clue why. I think they were protesting against the owner. I mean, they only stayed out for a couple of minutes and then came back in. Yeah, but
it was an empty.
Yeah, there was only the Swansea fans, and it's right in the top. It's a bit like St James's Park when you take away fans.
That's a great ground. That's one are they still there or have they moved?
They were building a new one, but I think they sort of hit financial difficulties.
Okay.
So I don't know if they finished it.
Because that's one the San Siro's on my bucket list. I'd love to go there.
It's a bit dated now. That's the.
But that's part
It's
of it.
iconic, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is
Outside it's
iconic.
meant to be. Yeah, I've heard that. Yep.
Yeah, there's a few. I think that's probably top of my list. I think
The San Siro.
As a
Italian
bucket
1990.
list place to go. Oh. They were keeping the ball for a little bit there, Leicester, and then they have given it away. But when you concede that early, and we had this exact conversation during our first ever watch along when Leicester conceded within 10 seconds against Everton. But do you stick with the same game plan that you went with, or do you change up a little bit? Because it happens so early, you think let's just play as we were going to play and see what happens.
I mean, it's not one of them that you chuck all your beliefs out the window after conceding that early, and I can understand the point against that. You've still got to sort of stick to what you think, how you've prepared, but I think you've got to mix it up a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to take too many risks and maybe concede a second goal within 10 or 15 minutes. You've got to, I think, common sense, and I think players, here they come.
Yeah, it's not a panic. It's not a panic situation, really. It's just a matter of okay, we have conceded early. Now we've got to. The game plan's the same.
Players taking responsibility on the pitch.
Yeah, that's right. And just do things a little bit easier. Like that was a risky path to pass at that stage in the game. So that's crucially cost us. But we seem to have settled. We've found our feet. So the game plan's not changed.
Yeah, I think that was the consensus.
You can't throw all the work you've done in preparation for this game out the window when and change all your tactics because you've conceded yet again a sloppy goal in the opening couple of minutes. You know,
Man City, they're going to have a lot of the possession. We know that, and it depends how far Leicester sit back in this system.
It's got to be off, isn't it?
He's got to be off. Yeah, I'd say so. Like I say, you can see clearly we're dropping deeper and deeper. And playing against a team like Man City, they will push you as far as back as you can go, and that's a dangerous position to be in. But they found the feet, okay.
And you've got to, I guess, going to the Premier League champions, it's always going to be difficult, isn't it? They've scored so early against so many teams, and then what they try and do is what they're doing now, really, Ewan, isn't it? And just keep the ball, tire you out, and then try and hurt you.
I think the teams that have got success against Man City are the teams that go and sort of don't show them too much respect and go and press them quite high and go and put them under pressure. And of course, there is an element of risk in that because they've got the players who will pop it around and play through you. Especially with this Man City side, it's one that you don't think they've spent too much time preparing for the game because so many 6 changes, I think, to the team that beat Bournemouth. I'd like to see just maybe being a little bit braver in approach and going to squeeze them a little bit earlier, higher up the pitch.
Yeah, I agree, Ewan. I think you're right. But because we've conceded, it puts you back on the...
A little bit, yeah.
You just get
You're
a little bit of that fear factor and you sit even further. And that's where Cody must come in now and go, right, let's just squeeze up 5 yards. Let's, keep
Would you
that
say
mind.
he's the main leader in the...
He's the only leader.
Especially,
I
know Jamie's
really don't
up front,
understand
I get that.
Through all this season, I don't understand why he's been this long before he's actually been playing and consistently.
I just think
because he can talk. I see that.
I do think he's better in a 5 than a 4.
Yeah, better in a 5.
I think this suits him.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Yeah.
Go on, Ed.
Chance here on the right. Indeed, he puts it in.
Poor boy.
I mean, James Tiston has made a great run as well.
Tell you what, they got a lot of bodies forward there, Leicester, didn't they, going forward? Sometimes we've seen Vardy isolated a little bit. There was about 5 players in the box ready for that.
It should be a better ball than that.
That's when you need that bit of quality.
It is, yeah, and that's what you're missing.
We saw it with the Man City. I'm not sure who crossed it, but that's he sort of had time to sort of look up
and then pick Grealish
and just pick Grealish out, and that's what probably Wilfred Ndidi didn't do there. I mean, James Justin he's sort of made a great run, which has sort of attracted the 2 City defenders to go with him. He's just got to put a better ball in because, as you said, there was some good numbers in forward areas for us then.
And that creativity and the quality of the ball has got, that's got to be better than that.
Yeah.
And it was that Ndidi that played that.
I think so,
yeah. And like I say, I just think it's a different position for him than he's, because he's not really a creator. But
Savinho played the ball in for Grealish, and he is a forward player, isn't he? He is a winger, and and that's
They've got over the halfway line. We're doing all right. Come on.
Well, I like the fact that they got as many numbers forward there as
absolutely,
they did, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because we have seen Vardy isolated a little bit this season. Yeah. And he certainly wasn't there. Okay, the ball in wasn't quite what they hoped it was, but at least they've pushed forward in that way.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a good one too.
God.
That's a handball.
Handball should be. Not give it.
Don't know how he's not giving that. He was one of the January signings, wasn't he? That Gonzalez Ewan in midfield.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him, to be honest with you. I mean, Rodri's back, but he's not going to rush him back, is he? I think he's going to sort of keep him towards...
Oh, is he fit again?
Yeah, he's fit again
Yeah,
now.
Nico Gonzalez from Porto, they signed him from.
Nico, that's right, yeah.
He's a bit in the Rodri type, but if you look at him, don't you? He's got the same sort of...
stature,
physicality, stature about him. He's just won the ball back quite high up there, hasn't he? So I think that's probably what, Walsh said it himself perfectly. That's what they've missed the most, wasn't it? Obviously, Rodri is such an important player for them. But you're doing your best to see the telly. Walsh, you were saying you've just had
Yeah,
an eye operation.
I've had an eye
or something.
operation, yeah, so I've got to have my other one, my left one done, so just to balance it all up, so I can see just about everything okay.
You need a little eye patch that would help you with it?
Not really, no, I didn't have one of those, but I've had a cataract done, so, but it's amazing, the vision now. They put a new lens in the back of my eye, and it was all done in 15 minutes, fantastic, really. So I've got to have my other one done, and then I'll be able to 20/20 vision.
Then to sleep then for that? Or?
No. You don't put your
Wait,
seat. It's just goes into the back side of your
play.
eye.
Go on.
Good play.
That's good from El Canoes. He still shows us brilliant touches.
Good
Good
ball.
ball as well.
That's well onside.
Indeed, on the left.
Now we need some quality here.
El Canoes certainly has that quality edge of the box. Go on,
Go on,
Bilal.
then.
Good effort!
Good stuff. That's
I mean,
better.
he's tried exactly the same bit of skill
Yeah,
in the right area this time, sort of in around the halfway line, and it's come off.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
It's 20 yards further
It's doing
forward,
it in the right areas, Dan.
That,
Yeah, it's a good
Edison
effort.
was scrambling.
But you can
there.
tell by the keeper's
It's
reaction.
only a
can't
yard.
you?
It's only a yard or so. That is.
He's a good player, isn't he, El Canoes?
Yeah, I like him. I like his attitude and his closing down. His work rate's good.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
And when you talk about quality in the final third and that creativity, he has got that.
He has.
He has. He's shown it since.
Well, when you
since
said
day one.
you said a bit of quality there, it went to El Canoes. You know he's got that quality. He can, whether it's a shot like that was or a cross, you know he's going to probably find the right
It's
path.
encouraging, you know, this last 10 minutes. Like I say, they've settled.
fair,
They've not fallen to pieces, and
it's been a good reaction, to be fair.
It has, yeah.
Having sort of had that really early setback, it's been a positive reaction from the boys.
Man City pressure so high, push.
The numbers they got forward,
That's your centre back is clearly, you know, we'd never do that in the old days. Look, that's the last man there. Man City's here.
Yeah,
They condensed the
25
pitch,
yards
didn't they?
inside, you know.
You'd be on the 18
you'd be
yard
back on.
box, wouldn't you?
Yeah, get back.
You'd be in the D.
no, that's a high line. That is.
But they do. This is how they, you know, we know how Man City play.
Did you see the Elanga goal last night?
No,
I've not seen
it.
it.
He ran basically from his own penalty area all the
Did he?
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sold it for 12 million, did they?
Was it 12 million?
Yeah, 12 mil.
Yeah, clearly the commentators at the minute are talking about that Nico Gonzalez, who we just were a minute ago, and he's only played 5 games for them.
I was going to
having
say, I don't
arrived
think he's
in
played many, has
January.
he?
He's
Yeah.
not played many, but you know, if they're potentially going to have FA Cup semi-finals, finals ahead, he'll want to be like, put me in this team, won't he?
And they've got is it the FIFA World
Yeah, I don't know
Club?
when that is though. Is that?
I think it's June, July.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's worth a few quid for him.
Do you know what? I just don't want to hear we played too many games ever again.
Yeah, no.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You know, they've got their own way with no replays in the League Cup, no replays in the FA Cup. They'll go and play it. I know it's not a pointless competition when you're talking about the vast of money that they're going to get for being in that competition, but I don't think you can have, players are tired.
Yeah.
Oh, Savinho.
He's a player, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is a player.
He does look good. Yeah.
Luke Thomas has done well.
He's
though.
done well there. He's read that well.
Yeah, I mean, they can take confidence from the fact that, okay, Man City took the lead so early, but since then they have grown into game.
Yeah, they've limited
and they
chances.
have
It's
that,
not-
the Bilal moment, it wasn't a chance. Let's not call it a chance because he was
He's done it
quite far
himself,
out,
hasn't he?
but
Yeah.
he's almost got his foot around it to get it into that top corner. But they've built into it.
Yeah, they have. And it's important they just stay with it now and keep this the same shape, the same work rate, you know. So many things they've got to be aware of.
I mean, if you look at us there now, right, every single player's within the width of the penalty box.
Yeah.
And I think that's good against Man City.
Narrow.
Because
And
they
then
like
get the
to
ball wide. Yeah,
play
and
through
double
you.
up. Yeah.
But then when it does go wide to Doku,
Yeah, that's
James
when
Justin,
someone's
as he
got to
did
get
then,
out there quick.
He's got out there really quickly.
Yeah, you have to do. And then, you know, as a defender, as a centre-back, especially being in a 3, you need to get out there yourself sometimes, 1v1. You can't leave Doku one-on-one with Justin or the other way around.
To be fair,
you know?
Daka's got back and helped.
Yeah, he has. He's got to. He's got to do it.
Occasion.
He has to do it.
Well done, well
fast.
fast. Done well there. Jack Massey has got in touch, guys, on YouTube. He's just talking about building the squad and obviously for the next few seasons, whatever division Leicester might be in. How do they go about doing that, Ewan? Do you think, right, let's look at some of the younger players in terms of building that squad? What do you... he says, without being negative, we can be realistic about that, but does he look at youth? Does he look at the experience that he's got in the group?
Well, over the years, over the past 5, 6, 7 years, the club has produced some quality youngsters.
Yeah, and still is.
And still is.
Yeah.
So, and you know,
go on, Daka here is in on the right. Let's just see. It's brilliant from Daka.
Oh,
that's so unlucky.
Yeah,
and I think because they can't go out and spend the amount of money that your big hitters can.
What contracts are up, you? Do you know what?
I
don't know as well, because this determine a lot of it.
Oh, let's talk about Daka. Daka's
yeah,
been
what
there,
a
by
turn.
the way,
Yeah,
Walshy.
fantastic. Yeah, he looks sharp.
Gets around Guardiola brilliantly, and then he
stumbled
slipped,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, stumbled into it. But
I think when you invest so much in your academy, and when you get good youngsters in, then you know there'll come a stage where you have to give them. I mean, the young Will Alves, I mean, he has caused an impact at. Get him on his right.
There's bodies in there.
You know, when he's come off the bench, he's looked good. He's looked lively. You know, he's definitely given Cardiff City something else. You know, he'll come back next season and maybe he'll get a bit more game time than he's had over the last couple of seasons since that really bad injury. I think there's definitely young talent here, but in this, as I said earlier, Dan, in this situation, when your back's against the walls, it's hard to put them in.
Oh, Doku's got in there.
Justin did well, to be fair.
Defended really well, yeah.
Yeah.
Stood up, yeah, that's good. Basic defending there, that was...
That's just, there though, it's just like, clear your lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
It's like, and I know they don't like to do it
No.
in the modern game, but needs must at times.
Sometimes it puts you under pressure, needless pressure.
But you've given the ball away.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeper. Yeah.
Yep.
Good line, didn't drop deep.
Yep.
Yeah, because Dunny CJ has asked about the two young lads, the two academy lads that everyone seems to be talking about, Jeremy Munger and Jake Evans. So
yeah,
they're clearly they're scoring a lot of goals. They're looking very exciting in PL2. So you know you don't know what might happen in terms of
a shout
bedding in young players, because
a shout would be putting them on the bench.
Yeah, I think that's a more
realistic thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Than you know, starting someone that we don't know whether he can. You know, he's never played at this level.
Well,
But
15 and
fantastic,
16 years old. They
yeah,
are, so you
yeah, I know.
can't
Yeah,
just
so,
move in.
so they'd be given, you know, a run out. But mainly, you know, what they can do next season when we start to win a few games, and you know, you can bring them on then and bring them in when we're 3 or 4 up in a game next season.
What's the old saying? If you're good enough.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
I mean,
good enough, you're old enough. Yeah,
yeah, but in this, you know, cutthroat game now, at this level, it can make you look foolish if you're not.
Yeah,
you know, it can affect people. You know, it can affect younger lads can't deal with it. You know, and you said protection now mentally that these lads, you know, because it can affect their career in the long run. So
when you both broke into teams, when you were young, however old it was, Walsh, you said your debut was at Man City. Did you break into teams doing well, good teams, struggling teams?
I was in the 3rd division then, so you know.
What, League One then?
Well,
now?
League One, yes, League One now. And listen, it was different lifestyle, different football, as we all know. You know, it was boot it long and push out, and you know, a lot of aerial battles. You know, it wasn't. It's totally different dynamics. Everything's different about the game now. But
chance. Oh, yeah, he's one of.
But we, you know, we were a good team actually. We had some good youngsters, and we were put in at 17. You know, Larry Lloyd gave us that chance. So fair play to him. You know, he gave me my chance. So why not? Yeah, I can understand some people like saying, yeah, let's throw the kit in, and you must be tempted to do that. But at this moment, you know, where we are, it's difficult. It is.
Yeah, you'd rather be put in when you're a kid in League One into a team that's...
because you've got to learn a lot
God,
as well.
Justin there was nearly sent in. What
Yeah.
He's done well to
a
retain the ball,
terrific
to be
ball
fair.
that was.
That was a long ball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We're talking about that.
Yeah. It nearly set Justin free. It was good defending actually from the. I think it was Vardiol maybe, but Justin was able to recycle the ball. Leicester now have.
They're starting
have
to
got
get
some
in. They've got
possession,
into the
haven't they?
game,
Samare,
Batesy.
a few nice touches, good little
Yeah.
ball out wide again. Suspicions
in.
of offside, but
Right,
indeed he has a
it's
chance
Ndidi
now.
again.
That end quality still in
that's a
play.
really good
still
move.
he's in play and it's gone out. That's got to be better, you know. And again, you know, you'll go back to Madison or someone like that. They deliver, don't they? And that was that extra quality that we're just missing.
To his credit, he's got himself quite high up the pitch twice. Now we know he's got a good engine. It's just that last little bit, that good quality into the box that's let him down twice.
Yeah. But he, you know, like I say, he's had chances this season in shooting positions and he doesn't get that connection right. So he's more of a holding midfielder for me, is Ndidi. But he's obviously now, the way we're playing, the good football we're playing, but he does make some good runs. I see that. It's just the end quality though, Ewan.
Yeah.
The end quality has got to be better.
Going back to debuts, Graham Taylor gave mine.
Did he? Graham Taylor,
In the old
Yeah.
First Division, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Championship.
No, Premier League.
Premier League, right? Okay, yeah. So you made your football debut in the
played
top flight,
played against Terry Butcher.
Okay, yeah.
And to be fair, did all right. And he was an absolute
Terry
gentleman.
Butcher,
I mean, he had this sort of reputation of being a hard man, and he was. But I tell you what, he was an absolute gent. Kept on talking to me. So if I beat him in the air, he did. Oh, good head,
Really?
big fella.
Yeah,
He was.
flipping heck.
I think it was Easter because we played on the Saturday and we played at Highbury on the Monday, and I got left out and Malcolm Allen, my best mate, he started in front of me.
Malcolm
I was
Allen,
gutted.
yeah.
I was gutted.
Yeah.
Terry Butcher obviously they had
Yeah.
he cut his
Yes,
head, didn't he?
England,
Played-
the famous game.
Was it Italian 90?
Oh, Italian 90, I think it was, yeah. Do you know what? Funny you say that because there's a picture of him in Gaza. It was on social media just last week of that same image of him, blood everywhere.
Actually, I think it was 82.
Was it 82?
I think
Was
it
it?
was
Yeah, you might be
82.
right, Ewan. Yeah. Yep.
I can have a look if you want.
I'm sure it was, because I know Mark Wright played in Italian
So Graham
90.
Taylor then, Ewan, the last memory I've got is when we, in 96, was it, when we played Muzziers that scored a header at Watford? Is that right? Batesy?
Terry Butcher covered in blood after England's draw with Sweden in 1989.
Oh.
So that game at Watford, was that was a playoff? Just before the playoff. It got us into the playoffs. Muzzy scored a header, didn't he? Made it 2-0, I think, or 1-0 away at Watford, and we got into playoffs and got promotion. Yeah, but that was Graham Taylor was...
That was after I'd given him the runaround.
Was
At Vicarage Road.
Yeah.
And this is what, this is what a gentleman Graham Taylor was. I mean, don't get me wrong, he had a fear factor about him, do you know what I mean? No one sort of would dare cross him. And he pulled me into his office on the Friday and he said, listen, I never ever do this. I've never done it before. But I want your mum and dad to come down from North Wales. Because you're talking 6 hours. Because you're making your debut tomorrow.
Wow.
You played, do you remember Colin West?
That's brilliant. Yeah, of course.
Sunderland boy?
Yeah, that's right.
He was injured. And he told me on the Friday. And he said,
Played against him.
use my phone in the office. Give your mum and dad a ring next. No mobile
brilliant.
phones then.
Yeah.
I tell you what, like, apart from that opening first 2 minutes, the lads have done all right.
Yeah, they've done all right. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no!
Oh, Ewan. Well,
Marmouche has scored for Man City, and
God.
well, it is a mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Sadly.
a mistake. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Mads has been this season. He's made some terrific saves, and you can't, you blame him obviously the mistake there, but just as Ewan
properly put the markers on that.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing as well. I thought we're just defending nicely and everything's all right, and that happens.
Let's have a look here. So
everything was all right up until there. The defending.
I mean, look at the shape defensively there.
Yeah. But the ball's
in, chipped forward.
But there's a communication there. See, does Faz clear that? Does he? I can't. Let me just have another look at that. Does he just go and clear it himself? Do you know what I mean? As a defender, I would. I wouldn't have even thought my keeper coming out. I would have cleared that myself with my left foot, gone bang in the stand.
And Marmoush did his
and
best to miss it.
Even if the keeper takes me out, you know, I don't take the risk. Look, he's got a chance to move that ball, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know.
Nah, I think he's got to take responsibility there.
Yeah, to take to, yeah, he has to come
clear
right across and clear the ball.
Even before the ball's been played in, he's 2 yards.
Yeah, he's 2 yards. He should get there.
Any other blue shirt.
I wouldn't be expecting the keeper to come on the, you know, past the penalty spot.
Even if he does, you stay there.
Yeah, and he's still taking.
I weren't taking any risks.
Yeah,
so exactly. Just clearing
yeah.
it.
Yeah, and now he's, you know, at fault really. You can tell in his demeanour he's wounded, but yeah. See them little mistakes again that
costly,
just cost us. Yeah, you just don't feel like we can keep that clean sheet now. You always think something's going to happen, and it has by mistakes. That's what they are. And it's a tough out there when you know, when games like this, because they've just got themselves back in the.
Marmoush has a chance, but he must be offside.
It's offside, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Marmoush had the open goal from the mistake. Who it is a mistake, obviously. Falls at the feet of Marmoush. He's got an open goal from about 8 yards out, hits the bar and goes in. He does his best, Ewan, to put it over, doesn't he?
I mean, it's very too close for comfort, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when you've got the goal gaping as it was, to have. I mean, he's obviously. I think he's probably gone slightly higher than what he thought. I think he meant to get a little bit of height on it because there were a couple of Leicester lads getting back onto the goal line. So he had to put a little bit of height, but
we worked hard to get back into this then, and it's just, you know, that's bad timing. And you know, now he's given Man City the.
I think someone's got to get tighter on Grealish as well. As soon as without possession,
he is playing centrally, isn't he? Grealish?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, the nearest man's got to get to him.
But he's just drifting in spaces, and no one's like saying, right, you know, he's going to cause us a problem if he gets the ball, you know, or someone get amongst him and get close and give him a dig, you, and you know,
don't do that these days.
Let him know he's in a game, because really, you know, his socks are rolled down, and tell you what, flipping heck.
To be fair, you know, I feel for the lads.
Yeah.
What's gone? 35 minutes gone, nearly 40. No, 35 gone.
Yeah, nearly 40. Risky.
It's not as if been outplayed, but silly mistakes and that one there.
We're on the back foot again now.
Chance.
Oh God.
Looked for all the world like they were going to score again there, Man City, didn't they? And Leicester are giving it away again. Vardy there. Frustration's got the better of Jamie Vardy. I think it's fair to say there. He's fouled Marmoush. He gets a yellow card for it.
I think he's disappointed with his first touch when the ball's played up with him.
Yeah, just a rash challenge.
Yeah, he's got to get hold of it. He's got to give the rest of the team an opportunity to sort of push forward.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
He is frustrated, yeah.
And you can understand it.
Yeah.
You can understand.
Well, he spends a lot of the time sort of just chasing about, not getting a touch, doesn't he?
Yeah, this is the thing. He's a long time in games without getting a touch.
Not getting a touch.
And as
isolated.
As a forward, you know, in the way we play, and I know now, this is the same with most teams anyway, you know, that you're finding that the centre forwards are not getting many minutes of touches of the ball, but when it does come to them, these top players put it in the net, don't they? When they do get that supply and the runs that they make, you know, but when you're up against it, when you're down there, it makes it even harder.
You can understand how much, and I mean, be like you, Walsh, really, Jamie Vardy, very much similar levels of club legend. This must be so painful for him.
Yeah, it is. But do you know what? I appreciate the fact that he hasn't quit. He's not thought this squad's not good enough or anything from the start. He's got he's got stuck into this season, and he's tried his best. You know, let's be right about this. He's missed a few chances, which, you know, people are saying he's getting older, but I don't see that pace that's gone from him. You know, I just think that there's a long time between him touching this ball, and some of the runs, you know, that he does make. Sometimes we don't see it, and we've not got that. you look at the marking at the back post there. We've not got that real good creativity that we used to have. So we've given
that's a penalty.
Is it?
Oh,
We've got away with it. Got away with it. I think you might be right.
I thought Man City should have had a penalty there, but
yeah,
the ref's given a corner. The Man City players are surrounding.
that tells you.
Is there VAR?
There is, yeah. Let's have a look. It was a good ball
it's in the box as well. If it's in the Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
Let's have a look. This angle will probably.
I think he lost control, did he?
Oh,
he's not touched him, no.
He's not. He's jumped over him, if anything.
It doesn't look like it, does
Nah.
it? No. Just shows you when you slow it down, it's totally different isn't it, than when it did look like a penalty, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he has got good movement, by the way, Doku.
Yeah.
He just sort of
he's
drops
quick,
the shoulder
isn't he?
there, which
So
sort
quick.
of catches James Justin sort of flat-footed a little
He's
bit.
so quick, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Man City corner at the minute on their left-hand side. So an in-swinger, in it comes. Mads does really well, Hermansen. Good two-handed punch away. But again, there's just that. It's just so frustrating, Ewan, isn't it? That they're in again though, Man City. Chance. Good save from the keeper.
Great save, yeah.
Good,
I mean, they
strong
can
right hand from
cut you
Mads.
open, that's the thing. They have got the quality just to cut you open, knife through butter like they did then. That's a magnificent save. Good, strong
save,
right
yeah.
hand.
Just slice through the team. Look,
Because I tell you what, he sees it late because it goes over past his
it
head.
does, yeah.
Great reaction
He
save.
was going in, wasn't it?
Oh, that'd have been...
Yeah.
Don't let him push you like that.
Elsewhere, by the way, Ipswich are winning
Phew,
away at Bournemouth.
I said that, you
You did say that, didn't you?
Southampton are winning.
Southampton are winning.
At home to Palace.
Flipping heck.
That's the first goal.
That's not what I wanted to hear, Bakes, to be
No.
honest
That's the
with you.
first goal Palace have conceded away
Yeah.
from home this year.
Yeah.
This calendar year.
Yeah. 9 games they've gone in,
Oh, Liverpool
in
gone.
company.
0-0 at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 0-0 Brighton Villa and 0-0 Newcastle Brentford as well in the other games.
What's he?
Just
What's the ref having a?
Yeah,
they're
there's a
just
bit going on
grabbing
between
hold
the
each
two of
other
them.
on, yeah.
Samara and Gonzalez, is it? Yeah. What are they doing? Just a bit of.
I think
pushing?
Gonzalez was the guilty party, if I'm honest, because he's. I
You
think
know what I
he's
look at
trying to
now?
get to the
I
goal.
Look,
Yeah.
look at a mismatch there. And there's Luke Thomas is marking. I'm not sure. Just wait till we see it. He must be a foot taller than him, you know, and he's just a
brilliant.
mismatch with.
But I think what they do is that zonal marking. They put
Yeah,
their
they do.
main headers
They
on
do.
the
Yeah, but
6-yard
they're
box
putting
and
him. He's not.
He's one of the main headers.
He's one of the markers.
Right.
So you know when I don't get that. Don't get it at all.
Yeah, great catch by the way from Mads Hermansen
Yeah.
from that corner.
Yeah.
He, whether we're blaming him, whatever, you know, a mistake did happen for that second goal. He has made a brilliant save. He's made a great punch. He's made a brilliant catch. He's not let it affect him
Absolutely,
in any way,
yeah.
shape,
Yeah,
or
you're
form,
right.
has it?
Yeah,
And that's
no.
probably the sign
That's
of
testimony. Yeah,
a
yeah,
top,
it's good.
top quality
Yeah.
goalkeeper.
And we knew
Yeah.
that last year when we saw him last year.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Slipped there. Thomas
Yeah.
slipped.
Savinho's in now. Left-footed shot. Good block from Fassi. Might have another go. Sorry, yeah. Last year, then you
you
and
know,
Mads. Yeah.
he showed last year in the Championship what a top goalkeeper he was. You know, he's good with the ball at his feet. He's comfortable. You know, and I think that was one of the main reasons that Enzo signed him, because he knew what he was like with his distribution.
Yeah.
But he's proven himself time and time again to be a top goalkeeper.
There were times last season where he made a mistake where I'm trying to think, was it?
Dan, I think you can count on one hand the mistakes he's made.
Blackburn away, I think there was one where he tried to play it into wings, he was caught,
Yes,
they scored,
yeah.
but Leicester won the game, and he never let any of those mistakes.
No,
and
he's strong like that.
I
Yeah,
think
strong-minded, yeah.
that
Birmingham
also
at home.
I think that also came from his manager. who took responsibility, because that's how he wants him to play. He wants him to take those risks at times, playing out the back, playing into, you know, your holding midfielder to maybe bounce it back off him.
Yeah.
And that's great when a manager sort of takes that pressure off you, really, saying, listen,
I think
that's down to me, I'll take that one.
Yeah, the way that you play out from the back now, that you accept there's going to be one or two mistakes, you know, and it's going to come from you, from being a keeper. He's got to set things up, everything, you know, but you've got to be so careful, you know, who's marking, who, you know, and don't take the risks of when it's too tight in an area. But they do now, don't they? They bounce it in, bounce it out.
I guess it's risk and reward, isn't it? You sort of try and suck them to get bodies forward. If you can play through that first press, then you've got a great chance of getting at them.
Yeah.
Man City coming forward again. Doku on the left has it now, up against Justin, goes past Justin. Fast sticks a leg out, does well. He's put a few blocks in, hasn't he, Fast? In the opening, what we're now 40 minutes in. Feels like it's been a bit longer than 40 minutes.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, since
it always does when you that second goal.
That second goal's absolutely deflated us.
It does, yeah. Well, us in the studio.
Yeah. And probably those away fans as well, yeah.
Thing is, it came at a time when I was just
We've
feeling...
had a good period.
Yeah, we did, and we were getting back in the game. But like I say, you just don't have faith that they're going to hold out. You think that something's going to happen. And it was, you know, really another fundamental...
You know, we'd had that sort of...
Basic error.
Opportunity had there been a better ball in from Ndidi.
Yeah.
And then
That's right.
Bilal... cutting in from the left-hand side and just scratching Edison's left-hand post.
But have we had an attempt on target? Have we? Looking at it,
the best we've had is the El Canoe shot, isn't it?
Yeah, ain't good enough, is it?
Saying that, Chief, I mean, Mads has only had that one save to make, really.
Yeah. But now we've given them that upper hand, and we're on the back foot again now.
Yeah, more shots of those Leicester fans in the away, and they're debating amongst themselves, should we say, what they're seeing in front of them. Chance against Savinho, so much like Mahrez, isn't he, on that right-hand side? Finds Marmoush, Savinho again, good save. Manson again.
Made himself big, didn't he? Made himself big on his near post.
Yeah. Gets in good position, you know, his positional sense is good.
Yeah.
You know. He has made some terrific saves this season. Only for him, it could have been a lot worse, I can tell you, but...
Savinho, he's just a Mahrez regen, isn't he?
Yeah.
Same number at Man City. And
yeah.
I think he's got a bit of a cheek asking for the number. Actually, they've been, what they call retired.
Yeah.
Well, the way Man City have been in the last few seasons, every number would
to
be
be
retired,
fair, there'd be a fair few, wouldn't there? If we could just sneak one before half-time.
There's a chance here.
Go on, then!
That would have been Vardy, been in, wouldn't he?
He just got caught flat-footed.
He did, yeah.
Jamie, didn't he?
Daka's quick enough, isn't he?
He is quick enough, yeah. Yeah, absolutely he is. I mean, that's
in the box.
Probably his main strength, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
They had a chance there. There was three men in the box. Luke Thomas had it. He was quite far out, Walshy, but could he just put a ball in there, do you think?
I think maybe, yeah. I think it probably would have been a better option, yeah. But it's, you know, like I say, Man City just...
Thing is, Dan, it's not a bad thing.
Boss in the game at the minute now.
It's not a bad thing when you've been under pressure, when you haven't had much of the ball, just to get a feel of it, sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I know what you mean, because we need the next goal. It's as simple as that. Next goal, as you always say, when you're 2-0 down, is vital. If we can somehow get it, then it's back to game on.
Yeah, that's your hope. And then you and yep, and me, obviously.
But they've this whole period since we've been talking there, Leicester have had the ball. Okay, they've just cleared it and lost it now, but they are keeping it. Iwan, which is a good sign.
Yeah, that must have got 30, 40 passes there. Nice and patient. As you say, Luke Thomas could have put a risky ball in and sort of maybe have lost it, but they sort of recycled the ball, kept on moving, went from right to left and went back to the goalkeeper. And I tell you what, it was nearly a great ball from Mads Hermansen that found James Justin. Just needed a little bit more of an angle, a little bit more of a width on the pass, and James Justin might have been able to take that ball into that final third. Gundogan's got a problem here. I mean, he was a strange one, wasn't he? Leaving Man City to go to Barcelona
And then
for one
come
season
back
and
again.
then coming
that
back.
was a strange one, yeah. Yeah, at that stage in his career as well, it was like...
Good player though, wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, Pep Guardiola, by the way, not on the touchline this evening. He is serving a touchline ban tonight.
Yeah, we'll keep seeing him in the
for-
stand, the picture.
Yeah, for comments he made in that win against Bournemouth at the weekend in the FA Cup. Clearly, I think he was one of those where he was walking a bit of a tightrope anyway, and then had said something, so it was a bit like, okay, there's a touchline ban coming for you or whatever. But yeah,
Was that after the incident with Haaland?
it could well have been.
Yeah,
because he looked angry there.
Yeah,
didn't
and he got pushed into the sort of advertising.
Or would he get
Forced,
fined?
didn't he?
20 grand.
he?
20 grand. It's not a problem, is it?
Got that in
on,
his
Pep.
golf bag, isn't he? Or his ashtray.
Come on then, chuck it into the box. Long throw.
Yeah, Luke Thomas with a long throw. We know he's got it. Flicked on fast.
Go on!
Oh,
Oh!
do you know what? I'm not being funny, but that, I know that is proper old school, isn't it? But it nearly came off. You know, just
really
if that had
did,
fallen nicely,
I think Varney was the closest blue shirt to Vass's flick on.
Yeah. That's it.
Go on,
Come
Ed.
then. Look, he even stopped.
Go on. Oh, don't slow it down now.
Yeah. Oh, it's been too clever.
See, that's
sometimes.
when I think you've got to put it in.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously, he's coming back in. He wants to be on his right
No,
foot.
I
doesn't he?
mean, Christensen before.
Oh, Christian, sorry, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Should have been whipped in.
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
just whip
yeah,
it in.
whip it in anyway.
Whip it in. You're in the final seconds.
That's why Vardy's been starved.
Yeah.
Because he's not expected
No,
to come in either,
no.
Ewan. You know, when you as a forward, you know.
See, seconds to go.
Yeah,
He's-
exactly. Look,
He's stood off Christensen.
It's half-time.
You've got space. It's on your left foot. Just put it in.
yeah.
Half time at the Etihad. Manchester City have a 2-0 lead currently. Wout Faes has stormed down the tunnel there. He's clearly not happy. And wouldn't say understandably so. Leicester haven't been too bad. They've just conceded 2 goals and it's been a bit frustrating. One of them's been a mistake again, and we've said that a lot this season, haven't we? Frustratingly, at the back. Man City 2, Leicester 0. Ewan, quick word from you both. Then on
Do you know what? You've hit the nail on the head, Dan. Too many times at half time this season. I think we've done okay tonight. You know, we haven't sort of caused Edison too many problems. El Kanouche with that shot. We've got in good areas, in attacking areas, but that final ball's let us down on too many occasions, and we've made 2 mistakes, and we've been punished. And that's what happens at the top level. You make 2 mistakes, and you get punished.
Yeah, I think that first mistake, the first minute,
goal after
first
a
goal,
minute,
really put us on the back foot. But they recovered quite well.
Did.
And we're just thinking we're getting back into this game, starting to play, starting to get the ball down and get some possession, and then another silly error doesn't just clear basic defending instinct for me. Is just clear your lines, and we didn't, and it's another just a silly goal that puts you even harder task than we've got at Man City. And some people think now that it's not too bad 2-0, but it could have been 1, and we could be in this game.
The goals are avoidable.
Yeah, and like you say
That's
now,
the
Ewan, the key now is to score the next goal. If we can score the next goal, then you've got hope and a chance.
Yeah.
Whether that happens, I'm not going to elaborate, but you've got to let's get amongst them. Don't give them time on the ball, Man City, and get your chances.
Yeah.
Don't get the balls into the box. We've that the throw-in, just simple thing like that, put Man City under pressure, and they didn't like it, did they?
No. Right, we're going to take a short little break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. Maybe get a little cup of tea or something.
Cup of tea.
Would go down quite nicely, wouldn't it? Right, we're going to leave you, though, with a little video we did with the Dallas Foxes. Obviously, Leicester have got football
I've seen
fans
it, Dan. Yeah,
all over the world, don't they? They've got supporters groups everywhere, including Dallas. of course, in Texas. A group of 5 of them came over to Leicester a couple of weeks ago, well, about a month ago, for the Brentford home game, and we caught up with them in a local cafe on Queen's Road to find out why Leicester, all the way from Dallas.
About 6 years ago we set it up. I was born in Marfield, in town Linford.
Because they would always want me to come out, because every time I went to the pub, we would always win.
My wife thinks I'm nuts.
It's an enjoying experience for sure.
Zach and Charles, you've both made the trip over from America, from Dallas. You're part of the Dallas Foxes. I guess the natural question is why Leicester then? For you particularly, obviously there's a story for you, Charles, but for you, Zach, why Leicester City?
Just picked Leicester and decided to stay with them from there on out.
And you found the Dallas Foxes?
Found about 2022, found the Dallas Foxes. I reached out to Charles and he was texting me ever since. I didn't go to a lot of the matches in the beginning. He's like, "Are you ever gonna bloody come out?" And he never
Get cut if you don't.
Yeah, because he was gonna cut me out of the group chat. But I worked on Saturday, so it's hard for me to make a lot of the matches. But then now I don't work anymore, so it's easier. But then also the drive can be 45 minutes to an hour to go to those pubs, and it's a 6:30 kickoff match over there, and it's
then that's in the morning.
6:30 a.m. Yeah, so it's rough.
I have to come quite a long way, so it's like 4:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning to get in there.
So why, again, for you, why Leicester? And you set up the Dallas Foxes, didn't you?
Right, yeah, I'm the founder. From about 6 years ago we set it up. I was born in Marfield, or Newtown Linford, between them actually. So many years ago, me and my dad were season tickets at Filbert Street back in the day, you know, during the old days, the Alan Birchinall, Weller, Worthington, Samuels, and all the Shilton. You know, for those days, they were glory days. No, glory. That was still middle team, you know, but it was fun to go, you know, and that's what, you know, obviously being born in Leicester and they go in early age, you get them early, and yeah, I'm a true Leicester supporter. I've been for all my life, you know.
How much does the time difference affect it, or does it not? Just because it's part of it, I guess. It's part of what you do.
The 6:30
more,
match
you get used to
it's
it.
a little rough.
So a 12:30 kickoff in England is...
It's a 6:30 kickoff
yeah.
there. And so, I mean, it can be pretty rough to have to get up that early and drive, because you have to wake up at 5:15, 5:30 in the morning, and you're starting to drink beer or Irish coffee, whatever you want to drink while you're there. It can be pretty rough in the morning.
my wife thinks I'm nuts. She's American. She really does. She said, "You're getting up at like 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock." I said, "Yeah."
My family thinks I'm nuts too.
And I plan it, yeah, because his mother and father turn up. You
They'll
know,
turn up sometimes too.
The Americans seem to go for the big six, the draw, the winning every week and things. But yeah, it's done really well, and everybody who's joined, we will get on really well. It's a good group, and we do a lot of things. And you know, we come over here on our own. There's 5 of us here, so we try and travel, and you know, getting up early, and you know, you can start drinking at 7, so, and then get done by midday, and then go home and you got the rest of the weekend. It's fun. We have a lot of fun. We have like rock. We have a little thing. We have rock music to start, and we'll have flares occasionally when they allow us. And it's a big. We've got all our flags up, and we keep it basic and have a good time. And yeah, so we enjoy it. Yeah. Been a tough season this year, but you know.
Last year in the championship, we'd gather at the pub as well and show the games on the screen and have a good time drinking together.
Yeah, through thick and thin.
That's what some of the fans just become a fan of Leicester because they wanted to drink together with some other people. They're like, and then they fell in love with the club.
I think that's the thing as well, because you obviously didn't know anybody, did you, joining the Dallas Foxes? But you've all got this combined love of Leicester City.
Exactly.
So then you're all now good friends. The 5 of you have come all the way to England to watch the team.
And then as the seasons goes on, like one of our guys in the group just bought stuff for his dog, a doggy bowl, doggy leash, and then he goes to San Francisco and stops at the bar to watch the Leicester group, or New York, and joins the Foxes clubs over there.
Yeah, and people have joined for various reasons, like obviously 15, 16 was a big good thing, you know, and there's people who follow Vardy or somebody like that. There's different reasons why people have joined. You know, one person studied at one of the universities here just for like a year or so, but he comes along, and we still attract people who just have an allegiance to Leicester who don't want to follow the big six, just don't want anything to do with that. So yeah, so we do pretty well.
And you come over when as much as you can, basically, to see games.
Yeah,
which can be quite difficult, as we've established, with sometimes games moving for television. It makes you guys, when you come over, the plans can sometimes change.
Yeah, because the Brentford game changed, so should have been a day delayed, should have been the Saturday, so we arrived on the Friday, or we arrived at 6:30 or 7:30 and 8:30. And okay, we've got to be there at 8 o'clock, so you know they get a lot of jet lag. And the West Ham game they moved back, so it was a bit of a pain, but you know, we could.
You know, naturally this season results haven't gone to plan, but obviously you still support the team. You came over for that game. Was that the first time you've been at King Power Stadium?
No, 4th time. And we were 3-0-1, so 3 wins and 1 draw in my time. So yes, yeah, I'm not used to losing. I went to the Palace away game a couple of years ago, and that was amazing. Sonia Two Spurs, that's when Vardy did the Eagle celebration in front of the fans. Yeah.
So what does your partner think when you spend your free time, your holidays, and he's like, I want to go to watch football?
She's supportive of it. She's a football fan too. She played soccer, so she's actually going to join the Dallas Foxes too. I'm going to get her to join.
Yeah, we probably get 6 to 8 every week, and that's good for us. And we like it like that, you know. We have a good time. So
yeah, it's an enjoying experience for sure. Even though last year was a lot more fun because we were seeming to win a lot of the games, because they would always want me to come out because every time I went to the pub, we'd always win. And they're like, skip your job or something, come out, because we would win a lot of those matches, and then this year hasn't been as much of a good luck. But still time to turn it around.
Declares Leicester City champions. There's a few banners actually in the players. To signal that Leicester are straight back up to the Premier League.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Everyone has a dream destination that they wish to visit in their lifetime, where you can cross off your travel bucket list and becomes your unforgettable experience. Let your never-ending stories in Thailand inspire the world.
biết Sài Gòn.
are indeed. We are back
Oh, sorry
for
about
the second half. Welcome back to our watch along. Thanks for staying with us, particularly considering what has happened in that first half. Leicester 2-0 down away at Man City. News of a change at the break. Jamie Vardy has come off. He's now sat on the bench. Oliver Skipp has come on. So we'll try and see. Maybe it'll take 5 or 10 minutes to figure out exactly what that's done formation-wise and the play, but we'll try and assess as much as we can what that does. It probably Wilf, Samare and Skipp in midfield, Kanoos and Daka maybe as a front two.
Yeah, it looks like 5-3-2, doesn't it? Set up there in possession, obviously, or out of possession it'll be.
Yeah.
So Vardy doesn't look injured to me, does he? He's on the back of the bench there.
I get what you're saying, and if you are an injured player at half time, you might get a little bit of treatment.
Yeah, you wouldn't come out like that quick, would you? Yeah.
I just don't know.
No, we don't know
how you take Jamie Vardy off when you're 2 goals behind. Is your best option of a goal? Is your top scorer? Is your talisman?
Yeah, it's a strange one.
We obviously will have to wait and see.
We don't really know.
We don't. We're
whether
speculating at the end of the day.
Could have picked up a knock and then trying to protect him, for the other games. But there's not many games now left of this season, is there? It's running out.
Well done if you were if you got involved with the trivia questions at half time. Walsh would have got one of them right. The question was who scored 2 goals in Leicester's 3-1 win at Man City back in 2016.
Oh, of course, I would have got that right.
We were talking about him earlier, weren't we?
That's right, flipping heck.
You put some money and get a hat-trick, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And it's only a small bet, I think £1 or £2, but it was massive odds. And I don't know what.
It's about $1 million to 1 or something.
It was something massive, mate. 5,000 to 1.
5,000
to 1 was good enough.
Let's take a look through the other results so far in the Premier League. Ipswich are beating Bournemouth away. Brighton 0, Villa 0, Newcastle 1, Brentford 0, Southampton 1, Palace 0, and it's goalless in the Merseyside derby. Liverpool 0, Everton 0. Back underway, well underway at the Etihad for this second half now. Predictably, at the minute, Man City have the ball, but Leicester have been able to, in moments, keep the ball a lot better than a lot of teams have done at the Etihad. Sometimes you see, although they just give the ball away as I'm talking now. Jack Grealish is in. Penalty, is it?
No, it's not. No.
Jack Grealish wants a penalty, that's for sure. He's not going to get one. Daka, meanwhile...
Go on! I thought he played it straight to him.
I did. It's the angle of the camera.
I mean, in this sort of shape now with 3 centre-halves, 3 midfielders, Jack Grealish shouldn't get a kick for me.
No, but the thing is, if you play the 3, quite narrow in that midfield, you just encourage them to get the ball wide all the time. And, Doku, he's a handful, isn't he? He really is. And they're just going to distribute as quick as they can, get it wide, and try and drag these midfielders out of position. But again, the shape looks quite solid.
It's quite tight. It's quite narrow.
But you can't foresee it's mistakes, individual errors that you're not expecting and this is the problem that's been all season.
Go on, get to him.
Yeah, we've got to have teas, haven't we? Tea and coffee.
Yeah,
coffee's ideal.
Yeah.
I would have preferred a Bovril, but definitely a Bovril man at a night game.
Bovril at Manchester, you'll have them.
Are you straight in with those wherever you are? If they've got Bovril on, you have one, yeah?
Absolutely, 100%. And to be fair, in the Championship, you get a lot of clubs that sort of provide a nice bit of Bovril.
Prefer a bit of soup than Bovril, I must say.
Yeah, I'm a soup man as well.
Yeah, bit of soup. A pie. Every ground that even my lad now, honestly, he comes to every Leicester game, home game, and he has pie, mash and peas in the Weller Lounge every game.
Yeah.
He absolutely loves it.
So what food do they have in your room?
In my room, it's fantastic food.
Is it?
Oh God, yeah, so good.
What's it called again?
It's a gallery.
Gallery, that's
Yeah,
it. That's the one right at the corner,
You've got
isn't it?
like 5-course meal, I think it is, and they finish off with cheese biscuit pies, and they make their own little pies. It's unreal, unbelievable.
Yeah, if you're watching and you want a really nice experience at King Power Stadium, to be fair, wherever you are at King Power Stadium, it's great, but the best is probably in the gallery, which is run by
Meet the great man.
I don't know, they're good. The other Ali's Moughlin's room in the Champions, it's fantastic. The people in there, I go down and see him now and again because I've got a few, people have been coming for years and years to this club, and I go down and see him. It's fantastic, really. Ali does a great job for the club.
To be fair, it is the friendliest club.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is great.
Just seen a replay there of the potential penalty shout that Grealish wanted.
No.
He just kicked the
Elkanou's
back of it. Just got his foot in front. Yeah, it's not a penalty. But of course, Grealish will go down screaming.
I tell you what, you don't see that often.
No.
One goal kick.
No.
I tell you what's a rarity these days as well. A goalkeeper kicking the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
Don't see that many times.
Yeah. Man, you do it with one hand now, they do it, don't they? You used to have two hands and kick it that way, didn't they?
It's sort of...
Yeah.
It's
like on the Hoff.
Start a counter-attack at times, can't
Tell you what, Schmeichel.
He used to do it really well.
Oh,
yeah, he did.
Man, he could just belt that ball, even 2
Sideways,
yards. 2 yards, he could ping it. His distribution was unreal.
Yeah, he'd kick it like to the side.
Yeah, it's just a volley out your hands, but it's a skill that and an art to get it right. But he could do it every time. He could ping it straight to someone's feet. Look at this.
I mean, all the plays in our half at the minute.
Yeah, it is going to
Can't
be
even get the ball.
Yeah, it's difficult. I don't think that can we change it in a different way to give us more,
Can we just go and have a go at them?
Yeah, and play higher up, you mean? We're inviting pressure.
We're just standing off them.
Yeah.
At 2-0 up, they're going
to... I know, and this is the thing.
They'll do this all second half.
Yeah.
They don't need to score again.
But if we open up, then,
I think that's the risk you have to take, though.
So, yeah, I think at this stage now, yeah. Yep.
What is it, 6 games without a goal?
It's just like we're just keeping a shape that can just consolidate the game instead of, getting us back in that. We need a goal back in this game. I get you, Ewan. Yeah.
Tell you what, get the manager on.
Yeah. Yeah, get your boots on, son. Yeah. Trouble is, the different game when he was playing.
Did you
He's
play with
starved
him?
of,
Did you play against him, Rude?
No, I don't think. I think he was just.
Not sure.
Yeah, I didn't play against him. No.
Well, he was just a little bit just after.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Because obviously Matt and Jerry did.
They would have,
Yeah, that's the year. Yeah.
That's better.
Look how quickly they get back to hunt the ball down again, Man City.
But you look where we won that ball.
Good ball, yeah.
We won that halfway in their half.
Yeah. Where we are now,
Left back. Well played.
Knocking it around, all right.
I don't think that was a foul.
No, strong. Just use his strength.
Stronger there.
Yep.
Doku, though, he's just so quick, isn't he?
Yeah. No, Justin's giving him that. He's showing him down the line, and he doesn't fancy going down it now, Doku. But let's see. Let's see if he goes. He'll go down the line now. You watch, guaranteed. No.
But the thing is, Chief, he's as comfortable going down the line as he is cutting inside.
I know. Yeah.
So it's so
I think
hard.
Justin's
so
got
hard
the
for
measure of
fullback.
him in that sense of letting him go down the line because he fancies he can get
to get back.
Yeah, because he's been getting there, and that's why he's coming back in now. You look at the substitute bench now for both of us now, and you've got Silva, De Bruyne,
Foden,
Kovacic, for Man City, and they've obviously, this team has been selected, the resting a few players, rotating as such, but you know, for us now to get back in this game, it might need a Mavridis now, somebody who's direct. You know, he'll get the ball, he goes direct at players, which I like.
I mean, there might come a stage where, and before the game, I sort of welcomed the five at the back. You might have to sort of think that again.
You're going to have to at some stage.
You might have to go flat back for.
I think we've got to. Yeah, that's the only way we're going to get back in this now. Is these, because you're losing a man, aren't you? And going forward, it's difficult when you've got that five. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it might sound a daft thing to say. You might as well lose 3 or 4, but look to get back into the game.
It's not a nice thing to say.
No,
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a risk, and what we've got to lose now. What risk have we? What have we got to lose?
No,
you know, one goal gets you back in it.
Yeah, it does.
And you know, so the next goal, like you said, is a crucial one now of whoever's going to score. And the way we're just sitting back and containing Man City. That's all we're doing. We're containing them
all night now.
Yeah, that's right.
Chance though on the edge of the box, Gundogan, good block again. Connor Cody, I think this time.
Yeah, it was.
Daka gets it away, but they can't.
You've got no one to hit, Dan, have you? That's the thing. You should leave someone sort of in around that centre circle. So you've got a target to. Yeah. It's not easy for them to start, the two centre halves who are playing like midfielders, to start a forward move going once again.
I think he'll, you know, sooner or later he'll go to that back four. It's just when he makes that decision, because it could just then give Man City something to think about.
I don't think you can leave it too late.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, I know.
And the
sooner the better. Yeah.
Because when I saw Skip coming on, I thought, okay, is he going to a back four?
That's what I thought.
Taking Luke Thomas on and getting an extra body in midfield?
Yeah.
Hold him up.
Well played. Well done, El
That's
Canoes.
Yeah.
But then they just can't quite get a set of the ball at the minute, can they?
Yeah, it's just coming straight back.
Again, if you are watching, please do get involved in the stream. Get your comments in. Get your questions in to these guys. Obviously, at the minute, we're just watching a lot of Man City with the ball. So these two are here. They can answer some of your questions. So please do get them in for the pair of them. I'll be able to ask ones that I'm able to ask. That is for certain.
You know, take them 2 mistakes out of this game, and you know, there's not been, like you said, there's not been a lot of peppering the goal for Man City on you think defensively.
Mads has made one save, really. It was a top class save.
Yeah. Here we go.
Buonanotte.
Facundo Buonanotte is coming on, as is Steffi Mavridis.
Right.
Oh, there we go.
Mavridis
So I think
Buonanotte. That's an exciting change, isn't it? Because they're two exciting players.
Well, it's what we said. I think he's going to take the risk. At, you know, it's the right time now. We've got to do it, because there is, you know, let's just give Man City something else to think about now and get on the back foot, because you've got players coming on who will want to go forward with the ball, and you know, very direct.
Just need that ball to go out so we can make the changes.
Yeah.
It could be another 3 or 4 minutes before they give the ball away, Man City.
Yeah.
Well, Buonanotte, though, certainly will. He's an exciting. Let's have a look down here if we can see those players. Certainly, Buonanotte is one of them. Whether or not it was Mavridis as well, it's certainly Buonanotte as one. I'm not sure whether it was just.
Right.
I might have only just seen him. And,
what do you think then? Canoes will come off, or
I think you'll take a defender off.
Yeah, I think
for Buonanotte.
Yeah,
you think?
Yeah. I think you've got to.
Well, yeah, we said
that safety net of a back five's gone because you can see the 2 goals.
It might be Thomas that comes off then, and Christensen goes back in as a
natural left back.
Left back, maybe. Yeah, I can see that. Wow,
that's a great bit of skill.
Grealish,
trouble.
Doku, over the top.
Right, get it done now.
Yeah.
Get that changed up.
Yeah,
Buonanotte on now.
Come on, Ewan.
So Buonanotte for what? Who are we thinking? El Canouse is your guess.
I'm going Luke Thomas.
Yeah, mate, I think
Thomas.
I don't think you can take El Canouse off.
Yeah, I agree. I think now you're right. I think we've got to take.
You've got to change it. I think you've got to change the shape of the team when you're 2-0 down.
100%.
And you're chasing.
Yeah.
Chasing the game.
Yeah. If you hit that across the goal, wouldn't you? Had a goal.
Yeah, zipped it across, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Akoli.
It's Akoli.
Coming on.
Ooh.
So Buonanotte and Akoli, sorry, coming on. El Canouse is one of those that's come off. That's presumably a straight swap for Buonanotte. And then Akoli's come on. I think I've just seen Christensen run off. Yes, I have indeed, yeah.
Right.
So Akoli and Buonanotte now for Christensen and El Canouse. So Luke Thomas then...
So we were right with Canouse, but not the
formation-wise,
defensive.
presumably the same.
No, it's not. He's gone 4.
I'm not sure.
He has.
Well, he's put Akoli at left back.
Yeah.
I just think that's
that's just for that set.
For that set, I think.
It'll still be those three with Thomas.
He'll
as a wing
tuck
back.
in now.
I don't know. Let's have a look.
I tell you what, he's very wide, Luke Thomas, and very forward.
That's what I mean. I think he's definitely gone 4 then.
Well, and Thomas is like a left winger.
Yeah, and he's put him left back. Akoli's gone left back.
Yeah, you're right. Thomas does seem to be a lot further.
Yeah, he's gone 4. He's gone for it then.
That is a brave shout. Akoli left back. I mean, he had to change the shape.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, 100%. You know, it might make Man City think a little bit. You know, we'll see. But it's
what is it? Fortune favours the brave.
Yeah.
Go on, Ed. Oh, ref. It's just in transition. They are so dangerous. They're so quick.
Yeah.
Good tackle.
Yeah.
He's done well there.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah, give him some credit.
Yeah, and won the goal kick as well, to be fair. They didn't concede a corner.
Yeah.
Those two will know each other well, wouldn't they, from the Belgium squad?
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
they will.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know much about O'Reilly, the left back.
No, I know.
But we've not tested him, have we?
No, not at all. Yeah.
I mean,
he's had an easy night, hasn't he? Really?
If he's playing for Man City, he's got to be semi-half decent.
God, yeah.
But we've not sort of asked any questions of him.
No.
Of his, well, how good a defender are you?
That's right.
Right, Buonanotte, he's herring after people,
Yeah.
as he always does, isn't he? He loves that, doesn't he? He just gets
Do
himself
you know, when
out.
he goes, that should be the trigger point for the lads behind him to go with him. You can't just go in ones and twos against Man City, because they'll play around you. You've got to hunt in packs. You've got to go in 4s and 5s and 6s. It makes it so much harder then. You watch Man City give the ball away if you do go in those numbers, Dan.
Go on, Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely playing
Yeah,
left
he
wing,
is,
isn't
yeah.
he, Thomas? So you were right then, Walsh. So it's
Yeah.
4 at the back. Buonanotte, Daka and Thomas is a front 3, although Thomas is coming...
Oh, he's coming back. So he's,
Maybe he's still
See if
with
you've
that.
ever played left back?
left back. I used to
is-
play left back.
it
Yeah,
is
it is.
five
You're
at the
right. Yeah. Sorry. Out of possession, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, in possession now, you're given a license to let's go. You know, let's push men forward. Like you say, we've got to take that risk now.
Did you enjoy playing centre forward?
I love playing
Did you?
centre forward. Yeah. It was a release. There's no pressure there. You know, you make one mistake at the back and you're
You get punished for
crucified.
it.
You know, and I didn't like that, but you know, it was high pressure then, but it was a release for me to go up front. But I just loved it. Once you get scoring goals, there was no better feeling, and you know, once you hit the target once or twice, I just felt like I was invincible. You could keep scoring.
What was that Wembley final like, mate?
Wembley final. Oh, which one? Which one, mate?
The derby.
Derby, of course. Yeah. It was amazing, but you did me well with that.
Yeah, I was going to say you.
That holding.
Have that.
What was it? Keeper. What's
Martin
his name?
Taylor?
Yeah. That was a good old-fashioned punt up the pitch,
Well, we
wasn't
had,
it, from Coltsworth?
We had Simon Grayson on a
Yeah,
podcast
I'll listen to
recently,
it.
which is
Listen to
available.
it.
Yeah, you guys have
Yeah.
both done the same podcast,
Yeah.
Leicester's a Place. So those of you watching, if you want to hear more about this sort of era, Simon Grayson, brilliant podcast in conversation with Jerry Taggart and Matt Elliott. Anyway, he talks about that game, and he says he can't remember many teams where they were as big as you were that day. You had Walshy, Iwan, Ian Ormondroyd.
And we were the smallest two up front.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
And we were like 6'3".
6'6", isn't he?
I mean, there was only one way we were going to play because I hadn't played. I hadn't played for 6
Am I
weeks.
missing someone there? Ormondroyd,
Ormondroyd. No, those two. Three of us up front.
Three up front.
And basically that was...
And that was a 4-3-3, wasn't it?
It was 4-3-3.
It was, yeah.
Oh, we had Brian Carey, Gary Coatsworth.
Yeah. And Jimmy Willis.
Was it Jimmy played, did he?
Jimmy, yeah. He got man of the match, I think. Yeah, I think
And
it was that
Big
one.
Sticks thought he'd scored the winner.
Yeah, he did, didn't
And
he?
then you go and spoil his, not spoil his party.
You've got to
but go
follow in.
Ah.
Yeah, that's all.
Because the keeper saved it, and then you got the rebound.
He made an unbelievable save.
He did, didn't he?
Unbelievable.
And to be fair, what a ball
fell
in from Larry.
Yeah, here we go. Look at this. Now we go.
Why not take?
Just starting to get a move.
It's well done from Doku, to be fair, but I'm not sure what more he can do there.
See, the game's getting stretched now.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous game for both of us, you know. But if we can, you've got to take that risk to get back in, try and get a foothold in.
Try and get that goal.
If you get that one, there's a bit of hope.
I remember the journey coming back up the M1. Every single bridge.
God, yeah.
Sort of Leicester City fans with their banners and their flags.
Incredible, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, we played at Wembley 7 times in that decade.
That's unbelievable.
Because you lost Swindon and Blackburn.
David Speedy, wasn't it? Your
Swindon,
mate,
Blackburn.
David Speedy.
But we lost to Tottenham, and then the rest we won, didn't we?
Beat Tranmere, didn't you?
Beat Tranmere. We beat Crystal Palace. We beat
Derby,
Middlesbrough in the Middlesbrough in the thingy final. Then obviously Derby. Yeah. So
technically drew the Middlesbrough one, but won the
in the replay. But it was 7 times at Wembley out of 10 in that decade.
That's scary.
It's unreal, isn't it? Yeah.
Guardiola, the camera keeps panning to him. He's got a phone in his hand, so clearly he's
of course he is.
texting / ringing.
Oh yeah.
His team down in the technical area for whatever changes that he wants to make.
The question that I get asked when this sort of thing happens, when the manager's not on the touchline and his assistant sort of takes over, does that? How do you say it? Does it affect your performance as a player? And I think sometimes it does.
Okay.
Because maybe you're not.
Do you feel less pressure?
A little bit, yeah. You don't feel as sort of aware of the assistant manager as you do the main man sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, who would it have been? It'd been Martin O'Neill,
Steve Walsh,
John Robinson,
John Robbo, Steve Walford.
If either of those two were on the touchline and Martin wasn't,
it feels very strange. Yeah, it wouldn't be the same. It'd be an empty space, if you will, and you just don't feel things are done right. Oh, turn. It's a dive, was it?
But then, could you say from a Guardiola? I mean, Sam Allardyce used to deliberately sit up.
Yeah, because you get a better
vantage
point of view of the whole picture, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because we've all been, be it a press box, Ewan, or whatever. Some of them are really low. Chelsea, I'm thinking away.
Yeah, it's quite low.
Really low down. You can't sometimes get the same feel of a game, can you? The one here at Leicester is possibly
ideal.
The best view in the stadium. But
I think the higher, for what we do now, sort of commentating and summarising, and I think the higher you are, the better.
Yeah.
As you say,
you see it at a different.
I'm
you see it more.
Other ones that are quite low.
Huddersfield.
I tell you, White Hart Lane used to be
right. Okay.
The old stand, very similar to Chelsea.
Huddersfield's press box is quite low down.
Oh, there's no room in there either. You need a shoehorn to get you out. Once you're in, that's it. Honestly. I mean, Sunderland's is really high.
Nice view of the rolling hills there.
I used to run up them.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to run up them, yeah. Back in the day.
God.
Wouldn't do it now. Wouldn't be allowed.
Looks like has Doku gone to the right now?
Yeah, he's just shifted across, I think, and he's just for
Good
that.
hands.
He'll come
Just
back.
for that moment,
I think so. I think so. Yeah, because Grealish has tucked across. Whether he's just changed it.
I mean, they are sort of coached. I wouldn't say to death. That's the wrong. To the minute detail, aren't they?
Oh God, yeah.
Nothing's sort of taken for granted.
No.
Any certain situation, any certain scenario, I think every individual knows where he should be.
Yeah.
That's definitely more of a modern thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is why now, you know, when you say they're parking the bus, a team, you know, it's frustrating. And you can go, you can't break them down sometimes. You know, they'll play that 2 banks of 4 that Leicester used to be. They were so strong in them, you know, especially when they won the league. They were regimental. You know, 4-4-1-1, and it was you gave the same players that were playing most weeks. You know,
Yeah, that back four didn't change.
That's important.
That back five
never
didn't change.
changed. And that is, you see Liverpool this season. It's never changed really.
No, yeah.
And that's how you win things. And you've got the backbone of a team. You've got your shape. You're solid. And but they're different class. You know, with
things that I think maybe we're a little bit old school. I think that is one area of the pitch you shouldn't make too many changes. If you don't have to.
That's right.
You've got to have a back four, back five that understand each other, strengths and weaknesses. A goalkeeper who's going to communicate to you.
Yeah.
You can be a little bit more off the cuff up front if you like. Good tackle.
It's a freak. He pulled him back, mate. He's absolutely destroyed him there. He knew. Look, he knows. You take your book in there.
Sad thing is, we don't really look like scoring, do we?
It's a great turn.
No, we don't. Who's that?
Mamouche.
Yeah, he looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah.
5 in 8 he's got.
Has he?
Yeah. In the Premier League.
Did he get 3 in 1 or not? No, he got a couple. Scored a couple in 1 game.
Did he?
I think. Here we go.
Yeah, so Savinho and Marmouche, I think, standing over this free kick for... it's Gundogan, isn't it, actually? But it's Savinho that puts it in. It's a great ball. Luke Thomas has done well.
Not one of their players. You
know
know
that's ripped into such a dangerous area.
Luke Thomas has done well there, isn't he?
That's what Fast should have done, really. For the second goal.
You should have just
in a different area in this box.
Yeah.
But don't even totally ignore the goalkeepers.
Yeah, 100%.
Clear your lines.
Yeah.
You don't like sort of singling people out.
No, but it's what you should have done. Yeah.
Corner for Man City. They take it short. Been some goals, by the way, that have gone in the other games. Ipswich is still beating Bournemouth. It's now 2-1, though, in that one.
2-1, yeah.
Brighton 0, Villa 1.
Oh, yeah, got them.
Man City obviously winning here. Newcastle 1, Brentford 1. And Southampton 1, Palace 0.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shock, eh? Are they catching us now, Southampton, or not? 7 points, are they?
Southampton up to 12 if the results stay that way.
So 5 points behind us.
Mean they would...
Derby is still the worst team in Premier League history.
Derby, yeah.
If it stays that way, yeah.
Oh, can I rephrase that? Robbie Savage's Derby is still the worst team in Premier League history.
He won the... Macclesfield won their league,
didn't they?
Yeah, they're flying, aren't they?
They won the league, yeah. In one of the northern... what's it called, that division? I forget.
Isthmian, maybe?
Northern Premier?
Something like that, yeah. Northern...
He does well to balance managing a team full time and then all his media work as well. So got to say fair play to him for that.
He's stepped in and done a job, hasn't he?
But hey, they've got a massive budget, by the way.
They've
got a big budget.
Have they really?
Oh yeah, by a country mile in that league.
Oh, I see. In that league,
They'll probably have the biggest budget in the league that they're going into.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean.
And Sav hasn't put his hand in his pocket. I bet you.
Yeah. Still 5-3-2 now against.
Yeah.
Gotta get good tackle, Thomas. He's in these few games, Luke Thomas. I feel he's come in and done
from
well,
an
hasn't
outcast,
he?
really.
Yeah.
You know, because he was. I thought he was finished with Leicester. I really did, and then
Ricky P coming on.
yeah, it's good to see Ricky P if he's fully fit.
Yeah, Ricky P.
He's been blighted with injury, and
yeah.
it's been costly. It really has.
It's
Some
such
players
a shame,
just
'cause he just doesn't deserve that.
No, he's such a great fella as well. He is.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, he's coming on presumably for Justin, who has just been
Yeah.
booked.
Yeah.
Yeah, what minute are we in here? Is that 74? Yeah, 75th minute now, so he'll get a good 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
Carter.
Yep.
He just offers you something different down the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, looking back at last season and the way Yenza wanted his team to play, especially his fullbacks. I mean, he really enjoyed that, playing that inverted sort of midfield role from right back.
Yeah.
And it's a shame to see then him get that
That's right,
injury
'cause he
so
just
early
took in
this
and-
season as well. It's
So some. Yeah.
yeah,
It is. Yeah.
Samara. then.
Samara, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of going to midfield.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, we'll go in front of him and give us a bit, on this right side. Then surely. He works
It's
hard, though, as a
interesting one.
player
Unless he's
as well,
going in as
doesn't
a midfielder.
he? Yeah.
Yeah,
He is right side, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think.
right side of the three in
That's what.
midfield.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got to, hasn't he?
He's done well there indeed. Go on, Thomas.
Ref, yeah.
Been a goal at Anfield. Liverpool are ahead.
Are they? Yeah.
I'm going to say Jota,
Good guess.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jota, yeah.
Jota.
15 minutes to go here. Right, listen, a goal here makes everything very interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
From a Leicester
I mean,
point
it'd
of
make
view.
it a really nervy
last
15 minutes for
yeah.
Man City.
Who Man City, by the way, they're still fighting for Champions League space. Could you believe you would say that at the start of the season? So a goal here could really, worry the Etihad.
Because what are they, a point behind Chelsea? I think they're 9 behind Forest in third.
This puts them into fourth.
Yeah, this will put them the 3 points at the minute.
Yeah, it's quick.
Look at
Wow.
that.
Doku's got around
That's
Skip.
just unreal.
That
See
was
how quick
unbelievable.
they counter
Yeah.
and transition.
Doku
It's
is just so
unbelievable.
quick.
Things
Yeah,
that
that's a bad foul.
they
that.
turn opportunities to shoot down as well from sort of 20, 25 yards. Well, I think there was a couple of chances there where the man on the ball had a little bit of time and space, but they turn it down. They sort of just keep moving the
Thing
ball.
is now,
That's not a yellow card,
No, it's
though, is
not.
it?
Luke,
No,
it's not.
Luke-
Luke's just gone to ref. That's one. I've made
Yeah.
one challenge in this game.
Yeah,
and
it's
he's
not.
been-
It's not that.
and he's
It's
been
malice.
booked,
There's no
yeah.
malice in
It's a
that.
push.
Yeah. Yeah, we whatever we've done, the changes we've made, we're still not creating absolutely
No.
nothing. We're not getting a shot. Even Edison's not added anything has
Nope.
to do. So it's a difficult night. Difficult night.
This lad's a good player, by the way, McAtee.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doku's come off. He's been a bit of a handful.
Yeah, he
hasn't
has,
he?
yeah.
In fairness, on comes James McAtee. Memories of playing away at City, Ewan? Would it have been Main Road, obviously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I scored there once for Norwich, got beat 3-1. I think Mark Robbins might have got his first goal for Leicester there. When it absolutely
Oh yeah, I was
chucked
there.
it down.
I watched that
It
game.
chucked it down.
I wasn't playing. I actually watched the game. I went up to watch it, and Robbins did, and it was throwing it. You were a horrible night. Yeah.
But I tell you what stadium that was.
Main Road.
Yeah,
Main
right,
Road,
right in
yeah.
the middle of Moss Side.
You look at some of them grounds
it,
now,
yeah.
and you look at the Newcastle. That's a ferocious place. To Anfield in them days. Oh God, scary places to play as a defender.
That's what's sad. Like you look at Goodison Park now, and the
Yeah.
history that's with that place.
Yeah.
They're moving to a new stadium.
Looks like Ayu's coming on.
Yeah, Jordan Ayew. We had a comment a little bit earlier on the YouTube saying, is it worth getting Jordan Ayew in the start.
Bring him on at 90 plus 4 because he normally scores.
Yeah, he always scores
normally
when he comes on,
then.
doesn't he? Yeah. Michael Shaw says, love the positivity from you guys. Thank you, Michael. We've got to be positive. You've got to be positive. But again, you never know if a goal goes in.
I mean, we totally understand supporters' frustrations because it does hurt when you see your team losing week in, week out. It's not a lack of effort. It's not a lack of work rate. It's sadly being beat by better teams.
Yeah, the quality is just not good enough.
Brilliant.
And you can't do nothing. It's not your
Absolutely
manager.
brilliant.
It's nothing like that.
Ricardo,
Did well there,
did you see
didn't
that
he?
feed?
Did well there, didn't he?
Fantastic. So maybe that's an option moving forward. Ricardo in midfield, starting there.
I've
He
always
played there
liked
last
him.
season.
I've always thought that he.
Put him in there. I mean, there he's just gone 1, 2, 3. He's gone past 4 players.
Yeah.
Eventually won a free kick. Got Gonzalez booked.
That's a blast from the past. That is basically that's what he can do.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. Yep. I like direct. You know, if you're having a go now, and like I say, Mavididi when he's coming in when he in the championship, he cuts it in from that left, and he looks and then he would go down and try and clip one in.
Yeah.
And it's hard to read.
Yeah, Jordan Ayew has come on. Off goes Patson Daka. So presumably that is just a straight swap, isn't it?
Like for like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricardo and Buenanotte over this free kick now. So it's about 35 yards out here on this right hand side, well out of shooting range. But
You've got to attack the ball now. You've got to really, make the right run. Don't get blocked.
Good ball in for
I don't know about.
Still, it could have been more central.
I would prefer left-footed player taking that.
Left foot was that, and that was
Ricardo.
So would you? I wouldn't.
You'd rather
I'd rather have that because when you head the ball from there, it'll move. If it goes the other way, the spin on the ball.
I just think you've got less margin for error if you put an in-swinging corner, in-swinging free kick. Go on, it.
So lucky.
That's a nice idea from
Connor. Yeah. Now we're in a bit of trouble.
Has tried to play it in behind for Ayew. Edison read it really well. Came out of his box. Now Man City.
No, look.
Have broken Savinho. Luke Thomas does.
Nah, don't like shooting.
I think Luke Thomas has had a good game.
He's been solid.
Yeah.
He's been asked to play a position he probably hadn't played before until recently. He's an actually left-footed player that plays on the left-hand side of a back four. Loan spells at Sheffield and Middlesbrough last season, was it? And as Walsh said, probably thought his future lied elsewhere, but he's knuckled down, he's rolled his sleeves up.
That's what he always gives.
That's what you need.
100%. And whether that's... Well done, Wout Fast there as well.
That's what he should have done. Should have done that for the goal and got across. A similar, I know it's different positions, but that's what he should have done. Just booted it out of play, and that would have kept, early on, we've cost ourselves really. And they haven't been that great, have they? They've not peppered Mads at all. Obviously dominated possession, which you'd expect.
Going back to Luke Thomas though, he's an academy lad, isn't he? An academy graduate. He was a Leicester fan growing up. He's from Syston. He's always going to give.
He cares. He cares. I'm not saying that none of the others care because they do, but it means more to him because of the reasons you've just mentioned there, Dan. Leicester fan, Leicester boy, Leicester through and through. One of their own, come through the system.
Yeah.
When he was a young lad, he dreamt of playing for the Foxes. He's now fulfilling that.
Man City have clearly, done what they wanted tonight in a sense of, not just resting players, but looking at the next game, really, haven't they? And they've kind of, in Pep's terms, they would have coasting through this. So they've had an opportunity now, though they've got a big game at the weekend. And don't forget, they are in a position now where they'll be in fourth. That's the position because I don't think they'll get higher than that.
No, I can't see them catching Forest.
But that's for them. Champions League, it was not looking that way 3 or 4 weeks ago, was it?
And still a chance of silverware with the FA Cup.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's a bad season.
I know.
Who'd have thought, by the way, start of the season, you'd be having a conversation with 8 games to go saying, don't think Man City will catch Forest.
Yeah. I know.
Scary, innit?
Didn't see this coming, but you know, you look at.
Hey, to be fair, they've been unbelievable, Forest.
Oh God, yeah.
When you talk about good recruitment,
Yeah,
they've done that.
Yeah,
in
well
abundance.
organised, well drilled.
Got a way of playing.
Yeah,
Love that counter.
Yeah,
similar to Leicester when Leicester won it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah.
You know, quite happy.
Just shows
quite,
you've done it. If
quite
you can...
confident in our defensive side of the game. I tell you what, pace and goal scoring ability.
Yeah.
Man City having a free kick now on the left-hand side. They're making a change as well, meanwhile. That Nico O'Reilly looks a bit of a decent player. You and the left-back for Man City. He came on at half-time against Bournemouth in the week, in the FA Cup, at the weekend. Got 2 assists straight away. I
mean, he's not really been tested tonight, in all fairness, because of obviously Leicester playing with wing-backs. They can't always sort of stand up and sort of try and commit him and try and beat him. They've got to get back, and our possession, a back 5, you know, might have been a different story if Leicester had gone with a 4-2-3-1, if Fatu was available, or Mavididi, or you know, if Buonanotte had started on that right-hand side, might have asked a few more questions of him, but not really done that because of the way
Thomas has tried to play one forward there. Edison collects it. They had another save for Mads. It was straight at him, wasn't it, the free kick?
Yeah, it was a poor free kick from the Man City point of view. You know, you'd expect better quality there, wouldn't you? You know, that ball was it should be just whipped in there. He tried to, and it's just gone straight into the keeper's hands. But again, it's just a wasted. When you're giving the ball away, this is why now it's all possession based.
Yeah.
And
you
get tired. All they do just put, you know, you give the ball away. For, you know, say if we were playing long ball, you're just giving it away to a team who just keep the ball, and you've got to chase shadows.
And what they do, they make they make the pitch big.
They make it big. They make you tired, and they force you into submission. It's right.
Kyle Foster says it would be good to get one back.
It would be.
Absolutely
It would
hear
be.
You, Kyle.
It would be. Yeah.
What do we know?
It'd be nice to have a shot, even.
80,
you know what I mean?
85.
I was just thinking, just give the travelling faithful something to cheer.
Yeah.
Or give us all something to sort of grab a little bit of hope with.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah, it worked out well in the end, didn't it? Yeah. Get it wide. To be fair, they're quite high as well. They're back 4.
They do stay high, don't they?
Go down.
Yeah, he's done well just in there.
You're right, Ewan.
He's got a good engine on him, James Justin, hasn't he? He never ever stops running.
Fit boy, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's a proper
He's been
athlete.
unlucky. He's had with injuries as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had a number of injuries
some
as
tough
well.
ones.
Update through the Premier League. Ipswich still winning away at Bournemouth. Villa now have a second away at Brighton.
Yeah.
Good touch from Ayew there. Leicester come forward, Ricardo.
Go on.
Don't be offside though.
It was, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, Villa still 2-0, now 2-0, away at Brighton. Newcastle 2-1 up.
Yeah.
At home to Brentford. Southampton still winning. They're 2 minutes away now from probably a bit of a relief at St Mary's. They're 1-0 up at home to Crystal Palace. And then it's Liverpool 1, Everton 0. As well. Go on,
go on, Ed.
Chance, Buonanotte.
Oh, he's put it too wide. Too wide. Just got to slip it in his path there.
That was a chance.
That's a chance.
It's not over. It's not over yet.
Oh, that's a lucky with the header as well.
First time we've really tested
Ricardo with the header of the back
post.
post.
It looked like it. Yeah, he got it back down, didn't he?
Because 87 minutes that goes in. Suddenly, there's 8 minutes left in the game with
just
with
a
your
little
added time
pass
on
into
and
it.
it's panic.
Squeaky bum time for Man City. Should he have shot himself?
Maybe, but it was just an easy
Did they
pass.
I think the pass was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just the weight of the pass was wrong.
I just thought they sort of dropped off him a bit. Oh, he goes down far too easily as well.
Mate, yeah.
Oh, just a weight and a pass and
that's all
sent
it
him a
was,
bit too
yeah.
wide.
We don't want to see
That
that.
is a foul.
It is a foul. It is a
We
foul.
don't want to see that. We want to see the. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
It's just too much.
He flicks
Too
at it,
much,
doesn't
He
he?
does, yeah. Outside the foot.
It was a
just
real
tried
chance.
To,
Buonanotte in had Ayew there, but
yeah, the good header this was. Damn.
you're right as well.
Good header from Ricardo.
Yeah.
I do very much. I like seeing Ricardo there. I feel like he deserves a spot in the team, and,
Yeah.
and maybe he's found it tonight in a central midfield role.
Especially in
from the
this
start.
system.
Yeah. I've always thought that, that position he could play, for years, and he's never really been played in that position.
Yeah, Man City now have a free kick.
Because the times when Justin would play left back, wouldn't he? And
Yeah,
he played
yeah.
right. And but
I'm not a massive fan. I do prefer the left-footed left back.
I do, yeah. Yep.
What's that? A left foot?
A left-footed, a naturally left-footed player played on the left-hand side of defence. It just gives you better balance. Because if you've got a right foot, you tend to come in all the time.
Because that worked for that season. One of the seasons Leicester came fifth. It was Ricardo right, Justin left.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Castagna played on,
that's
the
right.
right a little bit as well.
That's in distance, just about, isn't it? That I'd say.
That is in distance.
Just about.
Well,
Good
done
wall,
well.
good block. Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
How long have we got left?
We have got 3 minutes were added on,
Oh, right.
and we're into the 91st now.
Oh,
City
yeah.
making a couple of changes, so we're a matter of minutes away now, a couple of minutes. But again, if the ball from Buonanotte was better to Ayew,
It's a nervy finish for Man City.
then it's a nervy finish.
They're not convincing, are they, Man City? When you look,
They
at them,
haven't been, no,
you
no.
know, you can see where the, why and what's happening.
You get the
here.
feeling, well, they've just done enough, really.
Yeah, just done enough. Yeah.
Happy to come on with a minute to go, wasn't he?
Get these young lads on.
Go
and-
Henry.
Yeah.
Big smile on his face.
Were they a thing in Palace have equalised, by the way, away at Southampton. There's still 6 minutes left in that one.
Oh,
Palace win, then I'm
Added on.
my coupons looking
Is
good.
it?
Yeah.
sorry, Dan, were you going to say something then?
No,
Was
I
that a
was.
thing? Was that a
yes,
thing?
in your day, appearance fees and bonus rather. So would you?
Yeah,
'cause
you
you often hear stories about
Goal
players
bonus.
that come on. Yeah.
I was on £100 goal bonus
Yeah.
at Leicester. Who gave me that now? It would have been, I think it was Brian Little or someone like that. They gave me £100.
You did well that season.
I did that season. I got 16 goals, I think, that season.
Maybe that was the way forward.
No wonder
Yeah.
you wanted to go and play up
Yeah.
front.
Yeah, but they put me up front really because I got 2 red cards in a week. Here's Man City and an attack.
Yeah.
Just don't let him score again.
But bonuses there were some strange ones given out, and
Clean sheet
for me.
bonus. Was that a thing? For the defenders
never had
at
that.
all?
Never
No?
really had that. No. Your
Maybe
appearance
goalies
mon-
had that.
So you
I
get
thought-
your appearance monies,
Yeah.
and things like that.
I think some
Well, goalkeeper
clubs,
would definitely have had a
some
clean
clubs
sheet.
will give their defenders clean
Yeah.
sheet bonuses
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But you could argue, if you're a midfielder, you're like, hold on a minute.
Oh,
I'm integral to getting a clean sheet.
First form of defence, you should step forward.
Ewan wants a goal bonus, a clean sheet bonus. Full-time whistle's gone, by the way.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah. At the Etihad, Pep Guardiola
Yeah.
shaking hands there with someone that was in the box, potentially next door to him. Oh, the full-time whistle hasn't gone.
Oh, it's not
Pep
gone. I was
Guardiola
gonna
has
say.
just,
Yeah.
decided
He's going
seen
down
enough.
to have a look. He'll be in the dressing
Because
room.
he can go into the dress. Oh,
Oh,
Ricardo,
Great bit of
brilliant.
skill. Oh, he wanted to put it in, but there's no one in there.
Good ball.
Oh,
Let's get across the keeper.
Tell you what, he has changed the
Yeah.
game is maybe strong, but he has changed the outlook.
he's shown that
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
more than capable of playing and having an
Yeah.
effect on a game
Yeah.
in that midfield
Correct.
position.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable bit of skill there.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to put an early ball in and he's looked up and he's only seen one blue shirt on one Leicester
And he's
player.
put it in an area where you would expect if you're a forward to
across
get
that
across.
goalkeeper.
You've got to do that. He thought he was on there. He might have flicked the. You know, I remember him scoring a famous one at Man City with that was for England when he flicked it, wasn't it? I think.
No,
Or was it one Man City
Vardy,
flicked?
yeah, the
and
flick
it was a
like
near
that.
post flick,
Yeah.
and a brilliant flick.
Yeah.
I think that's the final whistle now.
Yes, we can confidently now say the full-time whistle has blown. Cameras panning to Jack Grealish. Naturally, he got the opener for City. Omar Marmoush got a second after a bit of a mix-up at the back. Leicester, though, in the second half, they rallied somewhat. They just needed to get a goal, didn't they? Well, naturally, obviously that goes without saying. But if they could have just got one, even that Buonanotte Ayew chance, just to worry Man City a little bit.
I think it was routine for Man City. It was an easy kind of pickings tonight. But saying that, you know, like you say, and you know, Ewan was saying if we'd gone to the fore and done certain things, but the encouragement was Ricardo coming on, without a doubt. Again, you know, we've made two errors that have led to the goals, to both goals, which you know, has been the stigma all season, and you just can't do it at this level, and it's a shame. You know, it's another defeat.
Do you think in long periods, Walshy, we've looked solid defensively?
Yeah, we have done most. You know, well, not most of the season, but we've in a lot of games we have. But there's always that element of an error somewhere along the line, and these are basic ones. You know, they're not just these are just basic errors that you shouldn't be making.
I'd love to see Buonanotte going up to that little boy.
He's going to do that.
Good lad.
The
good
Leicester
lad.
players have gone over to the away supporters to clap them, and they are getting clapped off by the Leicester fans.
And that
One
tells
kid
you
has a
something,
sign
Dan.
with Buonanotte can have your shirt. Buonanotte's taking his shirt off. He's coming and giving that to that young supporter.
Brilliant.
So that's
Fantastic.
made his, well, more than night. That's made his probably year, hasn't it, really? He's got a huge smile on his face.
Oh, he's got a little friend.
Oh, there's
just in
about
front of
20
him.
other shirts now.
Yeah, come on, lads.
Everybody else. But yeah, it is a nice touch. It just shows you there's some love about this team. But, you know, like I say, the reality is that we weren't expected to get anything tonight. And the fashion that we played, we just contained Man City most of the time. And, you know, there was a few little scares for Man City, you know, if we'd have done it a little bit different. But
the big thing for me now, with what we've just seen, there've been away games this season, and it's been a poor performance. And the away fans, the Leicester fans, have sort of got in their cars and got. The majority have stayed behind tonight because I think they, even though it's another defeat, another game that I think they've seen their players give it their all. And I think that's all they've asked.
I agree with you, Ewan, because I've looked at a few games and I have felt, and I hate this, that we've given up a little bit sometimes. I just feel that way. Maybe I'm wrong, but that was clear that there was effort, there was commitment. Then they tried, you know, and they tried to do the right things, but it's not gone our way. And you know, but like I say, this isn't a game that we should have been relying on coming to get anything really in the first place. But now you look at the Wolves have gone further ahead of us. They've made life ever so difficult for us, and this wasn't a game that we were going to be banking on getting anything from. When you look at the season, you think, right, well, we'll write that one off, you know, and still, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, that's a nice way to end it, I think, Walshy. Thank you too, Steve Walsh,
thank you, mate.
to you and Roberts for their company tonight. Thank you, obviously, as ever, to everyone that has tuned in and watched along with us. Rai says, meh, we'll see you on Monday. And I think that's a nice way, a little bit, to sum it up. Both you and Walshy there. It's a good way to do so. Yes, we will be back, of course, on Monday. That is a home game, of course, against Newcastle. We'll change up the format a little bit. We'll be on an hour before kick-off, so do join us for that on Monday in all of the usual places. But tonight, I'm afraid, has ended in defeat for the Foxes up at the Etihad. Manchester City 2, Leicester 0. Good night, everybody.